It's good to be back on the home turf in week 4 as we get set for Crusader football here on 95.9 HKFM, streaming online tonight on the Astro Radio app and on the Crusader Sports Network. A pair of teams looking for win 1 on the season as the 0-3 Crusaders welcome in the 0-3 Vikings for homecoming. Last week at Great Bend, the Panthers snapped a 19-game losing streak, and the celebration was on after as they beat Buhler 31-6. In that game, Gavin Patton rushed for a career-best 133 yards on 18 carries for the Crusaders. Great Bend held Matt Addy to just 34 yards receiving, and of course 3 more Crusader turnovers. They're now -8 on the season, and that's kind of been the hitch and the giddy-up of this offense, Christopher, is just being able to take care of the football.
Yeah, I mean, because every time you turn the football over, you stop the drive, you stop a scoring opportunity, you put your defense in, a lot of times short yardage situations or short field situations where your opposition doesn't have as far to go. So, yeah, goal number 1 for the Crusaders after winning this game has got to be tonight to limit turnovers.
See which offense can get going. Both teams want to establish the run early tonight. Carson, we've talked a lot about the changes in the offensive line, but I figure that these guys will now have had 3 games together after tonight. So it's, I don't know, is it time to stop looking at it as well because of this or that? Those guys, hopefully after a couple of games on the same page tonight, they're going to have another big test against a big defensive line, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think some of those guys are kind of tired of hearing, well, is it this, well, is it that? They're ready to go out there and they're ready to go prove it. This is something that these guys aren't used to, and they want to change the tide in what's going on up front and be able to run the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Talked about the turnovers defensively again last week. It was giving up the big plays. Great Bend put up 438 yards of offense, 10.4 yards of play. And boy, here's really an eye-popping stat for you, Chris. As you look at this defense, it's not been the running game of teams that has really sunk the ship. It's been the big plays. Of their 16 touchdowns this year that they've given up, 13 have gone for more than 20 yards.
Yeah, it's been big play situations. The Crusaders have dealt with some pretty good receivers, especially in the first couple weeks. And so that's something, and with such a new secondary, that's something that hopefully the Crusaders can continue to improve upon. All these guys now, they're getting start number 2 or 3, or even some cases 4. So hopefully just they'll get a little bit more sturdy back there, and the Crusaders can stop the big play.
Same thing with these young guys on the defense. I think cornerback may be the most difficult or one of the very most difficult positions on the field to play. But here you've got these sophomores like McDaniel out there, like Gentry, start number 4 tonight. What are we expecting now that they've had some experience against some really good throwing teams?
Yeah, really good throwing teams, and the best thing about our coaching staff is they do a really good job evaluating and evaluating film, and I can guarantee you that those guys, the corners, and all of the defensive backs have sat down with Coach Gray and the other coaches and looked at film and looked at what they could have done better, and then worked on it in practice. I know it's something that they look at extremely well, when you look at that stat of how many times defense has scored outside the 20. Most of those are passes. So it's something that the Black Knight defense takes pride in limiting scores. And it's something that, they're going to want to change as the season goes forward.
One thing I heard the coaches, Chris, talk a lot about this week was energy. Coming out with energy, they felt like the first 2 games that was really there, and I thought it was evident in the fact that Buhler was in both those games until late. It really wasn't the case last week. I think Great Bend really established dominance right away in that game, and that kind of deflated the balloon a little bit. So these guys playing with energy and keeping up all game.
Yeah, one of the unfortunate things about getting off to a slow start, wins and losses wise, is these teams that are having struggles themselves on wins and losses. I mean, they're going to really look at the schedule and see, man, these guys are over. These guys are just like us. And so you get a little different, how do I put it, when the Crusader team is up, they've been, start off the season with a 3-0 record. People are going to come into the game really thinking, man, this isn't going to be our night. And so unfortunately, with you start winning games, you start getting maybe people being a little bit more afraid of you. You start losing games, you get the opposite where they get a little bit more confident. And so tonight, again, the Crusaders are dealing with a no-for team. And so this team is going to come out here and think that they can play with the Crusaders. And so it's going to be real important early on to kind of establish that separation that, hey, we're just like the old days. You're going to have to battle when you play Buhler.
Yeah, they met twice last year, and Buhler dominated that playoff game. I think put up 56 points, but if you remember the regular season game, it was only 18-7. It was a hard-fought game.
It was a hard-fought game. You think about, Winfield's a team that they're going to line it up and run it right at you. And typically they have big backs, and they love to just pound the rock right away at you. And so tonight's going to be a little bit different challenge for the Black Knight defense because we've seen these teams that have spread it all over the yard, thrown it all over the place. It's going to be a team that's going to line it up, run it between the tackles, and it'll be interesting to see if the defense can answer right away and try to stuff them.
Well, interesting, Carson, as we look at the pedigree of this Buhler team in Coach Warner's 14th season, 10 or more wins 7 times. You look what they've done in the playoffs, going to the state title game twice, winning a state championship, and really in a position that they have never been. The last time this team was in this position, the kids on the field, most of them weren't born yet. And so you look at that. As a matter of fact, you could go back even farther. Last 0-4 start for a Buhler team was 1976. That's been a hot minute ago. So you hope that some of that losing mentality, some of that frustration by the kids, by the coaches, by the fans doesn't start to sink the ship a little bit. You've got to keep things positive.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned Coach Warner's success. It's not always been straight success. He's had teams that have been doubted and put down and been the other underdog. When I was playing, we weren't expected to beat Rose Hill. We were a 20, 30-point underdog, and we came back and he coached us up and said nobody else believes us except for us. And so that's something that this coaching staff does really well, is believing in kids, making them know that they are worth wearing that Buhler name on their chest, and they're going to go out and fight with pride.
All right, well, if you're up for some smash mouth football, I think we might see some tonight. Two teams that really want to establish that power run inside. We'll see how it goes coming up in the game. Much more in our Midway Motors drive to the game. Aaron West alongside Chris Shank and Carson Muller as we bring you homecoming night here at Crusader Stadium. We'll have those festivities coming up at halftime. We'll have more of our pregame in just a moment. You're listening to Crusader Football here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Motors drive to the game coming up. Next, we'll relive this day in Crusader history. And Coach Coles breaks down tonight's opponent in Armored Up. Buhler Crusader Football on 95.9 HKFM.
At Dick's Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
What do you look for in an insurance company? Hello, this is Brad Patton from Wade Patton Insurance. If you're looking for sound advice, dependable service, and the careful evaluation of your family's insurance needs, you should give us a call. At Wade Patton Insurance, we specialize in personal service. Your agent that evaluates and sells you your policy is the same agent that will be there answering questions and providing sage advice when you need it. So if you're looking for personal service from an accessible agent, check us out online or give us a call at 620-662-5469.
Hi, this is Buhler head football coach Steve Warner. If you'd like to stay connected with what's going on within our program, I'd like to invite you to sign up for the Buhler Football Weekly Roundtable. It's a newsletter emailed weekly to Buhler High School football supporters. To sign up for the Football Weekly Roundtable, just send an email to crusadersrt@gmail.com. That's crusadersrt@gmail.com.
This is Derek Fees with APAC Kansas Shears Division. You know we do big projects, but we also want you to know we can help you with parking lots, driveways, and other projects at your home or business. Asphalt or concrete, we're here to help. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Got Spock?
Crusader Football on HKFM.
And back on the Midway Motors drive to the game. Time for this day in Crusader history. We'll take you back to September the 23rd of 2011. It was homecoming night that night here at Crusader Stadium when Buhler was playing Winfield, coincidentally, and won 56-0 in that game. Tanner Fisher ran for a then record 92-yard score. Dalton Brown later broke that record in 2016 with a 95-yard run. Fisher that season ran for just over 2,000 yards. That Buhler team went 11-1, went on to lose in the state quarterfinals to Topeka Hayden. Our Buhler High Marching Band performing here at pregame tonight because of homecoming festivities at halftime. So Buhler 0-3. We've talked about the woes of the offense turning over the ball. Interesting, even last week in a pretty one-sided loss, they still averaged almost 5 yards a play. It just seems like they'll get into a drive. Coach Warner's talked about this a lot. We'll get down the field and a penalty or a mistake will stop a drive, and that just has kind of been their repetitive nature.
Yeah, last week it really was the penalties that kind of sidelined the Crusaders on some of those drives and really kind of took the wind out of our sails and got us off schedule down and distance-wise. So tonight it's going to be really critical to take care of the things and prevent the things you can prevent. Penalties are one of those, and turnovers obviously the other big one.
All right, we talked to Carson about the size of Winfield up front. You'll see them in that robust T formation really pound the ball downhill. They're big on the defensive side of the ball, too. So you as an undersized lineman, what advantage do you have over those big fellas?
Well, you're closer to the ground, and low man always wins. So we got to be in the trenches. We got to get off the ball quick, and we got to go and stay low. They're always big. They always have been. I don't know how. I need some of the water they drink down there. But they're always big and physical. We got to keep our head on a swivel, find the ball, and go after it.
Another thing that was a problem last week was the couple of bad snaps. Ty Goins and Jeff Neal played a lot of football together. I would expect that to be taken care of this week.
Yeah, for sure. We saw a little bit of an issue the week before, and then last week we saw it come into fruition. I think that there will definitely be some days that they've worked on after school, during school, and that'll be fixed.
Vikes 0-3. They went 4-6 a year ago. Lost to Buhler in that second round of the playoffs. Last winning season came in 2019. New head coach, though, Monty Lewis, who's really changed the culture, I think, of this program. And they've been in some close games. Only lost to Circle by 10 last week. Now, that could have been a Circle team looking to this week when they play McPherson. Hard to tell. But they're going to play tough.
Yeah, they're a team that's, they gave up 43 points week one to Arc City, which that's a huge rivalry game between the two schools. But, they've been right in their other two games. They've been 2-score or less losses. So, and Monty Lewis, we, talk a little bit about him. He was coach at Friends for many years. And so, he's got the collegiate experience, and he's not a guy that's going to get rattled very easily.
Yeah, coached at Friends and at Southwestern, 4-time KCAC Coach of the Year. Should be a beautiful night as the sun sets in front of us for football, a full crowd for homecoming tonight, and thank you for tuning in. We'll be back with more of our Midway Motors Drive to the Game right after this on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
The Midway Motors Drive to the Game continues after this. Stay tuned for tonight's kickoff conditions. And Aaron West sits down for a pregame chat with head coach Steve Warner. 95.9 HKFM. The Buhler Crusaders play here.
As your community bank, Prairie Bank of Kansas is always looking for ways to make banking more convenient, like e-statements. Eliminate the need to file your monthly statements. Now you can be notified the moment your statement is available and easily access it online. Sign up for e-statements online at prairiebankks.com or visit one of our locations in Stafford, Buhler, Inman, or Hutchinson. Prairie Bank of Kansas. How banking should be.
At Dick's Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Dr. Ediger genuinely cares about his patients. He knows his stuff. He is easygoing and makes you feel really comfortable. It can sometimes be intimidating going to the dentist. He does everything he can to ease your worries, especially with the kids.
Hi, this is Dr. Corey Ediger, inviting you and your family to call me at 663-9136. That's 663-9136. Or stop by my office on East 30th to make an appointment today at Ediger Family Dental.
Where patients come first.
Even trying to enjoy a fun event can be difficult after the loss of a loved one. Unanswered questions, feelings of stress and grief are only natural. As the owner and director of Inman Funeral Home, I bring over 25 years of experience bringing comfort and empathy during time of loss. Rely on me to guide you through all aspects of planning a funeral service with compassion, dignity, and respect. I'm Athena Johnson with Inman Funeral Home. Find me at inmanfh.com.
Well, back here on our Midway Motors drive to the game, time to get armored up as we break down the Winfield Vikings with Coach Jason Coles. Coach, you and I were talking, attitudes have been good this week despite the 0-3 start. Felt like we kind of got pushed around a little bit at Great Bend and hopefully get some of that energy back against Winfield tonight.
Yeah, for sure. We want to come out with a higher level of energy and like we talked about earlier, attitudes have been pretty positive. We had our two tough days on Tuesday, Wednesday this week. We had a really good practice in the morning on Tuesday, and then with the weather change coming in on Wednesday, we had a full practice. Kids got after it. There's been a lot more film watched this week, so the kids are responding to what we're asking them to do. A lot of questions being asked, and for several years, we've ended every defensive session with get better, get better every chance you get better every snap. And that's no different right now. And I think the kids are taking it to heart. They want to be good and they want to keep growing and they want to keep getting better. And that's our goal. And if we can do that with a lot of energy, we'll be okay.
Winfield typically pretty big, pretty physical. They run that old school robust formation. They'll also run some spread stuff, but their success starts with the power running game.
Oh, without a doubt. And, with the coaching change, they haven't really changed much offensively. They'll run the full house backfield. They'll go double tight. They'll go the old Maryland stack eye, try to run downhill, grind it out, shorten the game a little bit, be physical with you. And, we need to respond. It's one of the things we've always prided ourselves on is being physical and running to the ball and, getting back to those fundamentals and playing by those principles we've always talked about as Black Knight football. If we can do those things, we'll be okay.
Saw a little bit of that power running style last week from Great Bend. How does that help you get ready for this week? And thoughts on how your guys will react?
It's kind of interesting because we see so many shotgun teams. And, and this happens a lot over the years. So many shotgun teams, and then you'll run in against a power team like Winfield that lines up under center, lines up three backs behind them, 4 yards deep, 3 yards deep, and comes downhill. And it kind of takes you back to the basics. And like I told my linebackers this week, hey, we get to play linebacker this week. We get to read our keys, run to the ball, be physical. So it's a shift, but I think it's a good shift for us, and it's a good time for it. So, it takes you back to basics of football.
Sounds good, Coach. Well, hopefully good things on the field tonight. We appreciate your time as always.
Thank you, Aaron. I definitely appreciate it.
That's Coach Coles. We're armored up, ready to go. More of our pregame coming up right after this.
The right price for protection is easier to find than you might think. Contact me, Andrew Parr, your Allstate agent in Hutchinson, for a free quote. Protection shouldn't be pricey. Call me today or stop by the office at 13th and Main in Midtown Hutchinson. Are you in good hands?
Hi, this is James with IdeaTech. We love bringing internet freedom to the residents and businesses of Buhler. IdeaTech is a proud supporter and the preferred internet provider of the Buhler Crusaders. As the Crusaders know, speed wins. We back up our lightning-fast internet with a customer-first philosophy. That means you will talk to a live person from our office in Buhler when you call in. If you're not already a customer, go to ideatech.com and click on Check Availability. Or you can call us at 620-543-5000 to inquire more about our services.
Hey guys, how's practice going?
Papa, I can't hit the ball over the fence yet.
Well, Easton, that fence is 300 feet away and you're only 4 years old.
Papa, how long before we can hit the ball over the fence?
Boys, it's not always about home runs, it's about teamwork and always getting better. Ray Riffing's been around for 83 years and we still believe in teamwork and working hard.
So, Papa, it's going to take 83 more years until we're good?
No, Brogan, you'll be good long before that. Just keep working hard. Most of all, have fun.
Let's go hit some baseballs and get some ice cream.
Okay, boys, let's go.
Riff the right way, the Ray way.
At Adams Brown, our clients are the center of everything we do. Hi, this is Brett Henry. We're proud to have been named to the
Starting college class, Hutchinson Community College may have what you need. It's not too late to get enrolled. We have classes starting throughout the semester. Call 620-665-3535 or email myfuture@hutchcc.edu today. Crusader football on HKFM.
And back on our Midway Motors drive to the game here from Crusader Stadium. Aaron West, Chris Shank, Carson Moeller with you. Our coverage tonight brought to you in part by Sunflower Electric Supply, by Wade Patton Insurance, by Dix Phillips 66, by Buhler Dental Care, and by Schmidt Electric. A busy night of football across our Ad Astra Sports Network tonight. We'll have much more on that coming up here for you momentarily. And also get you set for what we hope is a pretty exciting football game this evening. 4A rankings out this week. Miege number 1, Aquinas 2, Chanute 3. The Blue Comets are kind of the surprise of 4A so far this year. Eudora 5, Baser Linwood 4, and Baser Linwood 5. A surprising thing about that, how dominating I think football has been in the West in 4A for so many years, and there's only one 4A West team in those rankings.
Yeah, I mean, it's, some of the powers that be, Buhler being down and, McPherson having lost to Junction City have kind of pushed some of the schools that typically are up there in 4A in the West.
All right, we will hear comments from Coach Warner coming up. We'll go down to the field for tonight's kickoff conditions and take a look elsewhere around the league and the network. When we come back, you're listening to Crusader Football here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Rise and shine. It's daylight time and time to go to your happy place. With kids back in school, that means fall flavors are returning to your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts. Bear claws, pine cones, pumpkin and apple spice cake donuts, and of course, all your favorite standards made fresh from scratch each morning. Order online and have them ready to pick up by going to HutchinsonDaylightDonuts.com. At 3rd and Main and 1435 East 30th, we're your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts.
Hey fans, this is Rachel Nelson. It's game time and I Need a Cleaners can help you look like a winner. Spend your valuable time prepping for the game, not doing laundry. Keep your knit polos and khaki pants looking great. For the winning look, stop by I Need a Cleaners, 13th and Main in Hutchinson.
Neufeld Flooring, proud supporter of Buhler High School activities. We are your experts for all your floor covering needs. Please make an appointment to visit us at 110 West 2nd, downtown Buhler, or give us a call at 620-543-2274. Go Crusaders!
And welcome back on our Midway Motors drive to the game. Homecoming tonight here at Crusader Stadium. Pregame thoughts from head coach Steve Warner. Coach, you and I talked about Monday night on our coaches show what having some success tonight in a win would mean for our kids.
No, it would be outstanding. Just the enthusiasm that they would show, I know, and the hard work would pay off. It's time for a win. Go 3 in a row. It's time to get back in the winning track, and they've been successful over their careers, and it's just time to put everything together.
Losing, it grinds on you. It wears on you mentally, and I know you as coaches really take that seriously to try and keep the kids up and help them stay positive.
Well, that's not easy to do. What happens when you lose and you make a mistake and then everybody gets their head down, that we've got to stay up, we've got to stay positive, we've got to remember what the things that we have done in the past, even this year coming back against Circle and giving us a chance to win. We just need to stay focused and just keep playing hard, and good things will happen.
You get a Winfield Viking team that's 0-3. They're hungry as well. They've got a big physical football team that's going to try and push you around the field, and that's going to make those fundamentals just that much more important.
Well, they are, and we're going to have to fill the holes and come up and be aggressive and gang tackle, because they definitely are going to bring a lot of people to the point of attack.
like to power run the football with a couple of different formations. A little bit of an old school look with that, the robust and then the Minnesota eye that they go with. And so they'll try and disguise some things with their run. Can't be surprised, though, if they try and take a few shots, I would think, downfield.
Well, I think they're going to have to. After watching the film that they have on us, they're going to have to take some shots down the field because they've seen us, not cover very well sometimes. And so that'll be something. But obviously they want to run, and we've got to take away what they want to do, and that's run the football.
You talk all the time about sustaining drives and getting this offense going, and feel it at times we've seen them move down the field and then, have different scenarios that have set them back. I think the potential is there. Just got to figure out how to put those drives all together.
Without a doubt. Penalties and fumbled snaps last week hurt us. We just can't have those things. We've got to, basically hold our mud when we have a running play, not jump off sides, and take care of the football. Those are key ingredients to winning for everybody in football. But the long sustained drives would be wonderful because their offense would be on the sideline.
Definitely take care of the football. We'll see how it goes tonight, and a win would be fantastic. Get you guys back in the right direction. I know all these kids. The one thing that we've talked a lot about on our broadcast is for the fans out there and not to get down on the kids. They really are. They're trying their hardest.
They're trying very hard, and they're working hard at practice, and they hate this. They don't want to be 0-3, but they keep working hard and coming to practices with good attitudes. Even in the miserable heat that we've had this week, they've come in the morning. They've come in back in the afternoon. They're working hard. They want to get wins.
All right, well, let's hopefully have success tonight. Best of luck, and we'll talk to you after the game.
Thank you.
That is head coach Steve Warner, our Midway Motors Drive to the Game, and we're back with more after this.
Just ahead on the Midway Motors Drive to the Game, we'll preview other action around the league, and Chris gives you his 3 keys to victory. Midway Motors, for every mile of life. The Buhler Crusaders play on 95.9 HKFM.
Need a winning rate? I'm Ashley McClure, owner of IVP Benefits Consulting Group, a local insurance agency. I know what it's like to work hard to win. We'll work hard to find you winning rates for all of your healthcare needs. Call us at 620-904-7010.
What's better than getting a new iPhone? Also getting an Apple Watch on us with 1 month free service. You heard that right. At Next Tech Wireless, you can get an Apple Watch on us with a month of free cellular service when you buy a new iPhone. Come visit us at a location near you or call or text at 877-621-2600 for more information. Next Tech Wireless, we are Kansas.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And back here on our Midway Motors Drive to the Game, and time for tonight's kickoff conditions, brought to you by Newfeld's Flooring and Buhler, featuring one-of-a-kind flooring and accessories to pull your project together. Newfeld's Flooring, a few miles out of the city, light years out of the ordinary. And Carson, finally some cooler weather this week. I have a feeling once the sun goes down, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, so it's really nice down here. The sun is not an issue today. It's 77. Sun's already behind the trees, starting to get a nice little breeze. Expect that to pick up just a little bit, but it won't really affect us. And that's what is going on down here tonight.
All right, excited to get to the game started. The Crusaders are out of the locker room in their home black uniforms tonight with those maroon numerals. And maroon helmets, all white uniforms, blue numerals, and blue helmets for the Winfield Vikings. And we remind you, just like tonight's teams, I Need a Cleaners can help you look like a winner. Expert dry cleaning and professional shirt service. I Need a Cleaners in Hutchinson and Newton. It's where to take your clothes. Elsewhere around the league tonight, Wellington at Labette County, Smoky Valley at Andale, Eisenhower is at Andover Central, Augusta at El Dorado, Arc City at Goddard, Roseville at Mulvane, Clearwater at Collegiate. And at the top of Division III, Circle at McPherson. I'm taking score predictions on that game. What do we think?
Well, I know where you stand, Aaron, that you're maybe not a complete believer in Circle yet. McPherson's always a tough venue to play at, so it'll be interesting to see how that one stares out. I don't know. Mac lost last week to Junction, and Circle, I don't know. Maybe they've got what it takes to finally win the division.
Yeah, you can get caught score hawking, comparing scores, and that doesn't always mean much. Circle only beats Winfield last week by 10. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's every single night's its own entity, so it'll be interesting to see how that one turns out up north.
On the Ad-Astra Sports Network tonight, big slate of games, including Inman at Sterling, and all of a sudden with the success that Sterling's had early in the year, those young kids in the backfield, that becomes a big game tonight.
Yeah, and, it maybe is a little bit of a trap game for Inman because everybody up there's looking at the big Heart of America League matchup next week with Trinity Catholic being undefeated right now, so it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out.
All right, we'll get the rest of the schedule coming up. Right now, let's go down to the field for tonight's coin toss.
He said heads, okay? Listen up. It is. And you called. So white has the one in the toss. So your choice to kick, receive, or defend the goal, or defer your choice to the second half. You're going to receive. Okay, so to start the game, you're going to kick. Which goal do you want to defend? Okay, so flip that way. You want to toss it.
All right, the Winfield Vikings have won the toss and elected to receive, and Buhler will defend against the south end zone here at Crusader Stadium. Rest of the league, Smoky Valley and Andale circle at McPherson. These games on our network tonight. Ellenwood at Trinity Catholic, southeast of Saline at Halstead, Central Christian at Fairfield, and the Lions at Haven. Find streaming of tonight's games online at AdAstraRadio.com and the AdAstra Radio app. Powered by Next Tech Wireless, the latest phones and devices at the best prices. All right, Christopher, as we get ready to kick off tonight, let's take a look at some keys to the game.
Well, I think our three most important keys, one of the things Coach Warner talked about this week, we need to finish drives. Last week we had 2 trips to the red zone that ended up being scoreless. Number 2, winning in the trenches. These are 2 teams that are going to try to run the football right at each other, and whoever can win up front will probably be the one that wins the game. And then obviously the turnover battle. The Crusaders are -10 this season on turnovers, so the team that turns it over the least tonight will hopefully they'll be the Crusaders, will walk away with the W.
You know, interesting, Winfield likes to receive. A lot of times you'll defer that into the second half, but that tells me they're looking to go for the jugular, get some momentum early.
Yeah, they want to try to take the wind out of Buhler's sails right off the bat. So Black Knights, the defense, are going to have the chance to really set the tone defensively here right out the gate.
Jeffrey Neal will set the football on the 40-yard line, kicking toward the north end zone here at Crusader Stadium. Defensively, this Crusader 4-3 defense with Alex Lee, Chase Gentry, Chase Henderson, and Brian Regier up front. The linebackers, Will Hanen, Braden Gentry, and Matthew Eddy. And in the secondary, Luca Gotti, Jeremy Gentry, Mitchell McDaniel, and Tavian Gilliam. Buhler's defense averaging, giving up 34.5 points a game through the first 3. Vikings 0-3, Crusaders 0-3. Somebody's got to win tonight. Low line drive kick to the near side, and it's going to roll out of bounds right in front of the 20-yard line. And we'll see what this Black Knight defense can do. They gave up a little bit. You talk about the run game, Chris, against Great Bend last week. Panthers ran for 223. Winfield's really going to want to smash it downhill here, and that Black Knight defense got to stand tall.
Yep, they're going to have to deal with this big line that they're going to be dealing with, 250, 275, 200, 220, and 200 pounds. Winfield's got some big fellas up front, so the Crusaders' quickness on the D-line is going to be what has to neutralize that size differential.
They're going to spot the ball at the Vikings' own 35. Landon Duprat is the junior quarterback. He's completed 40% of his passes for 280 yards on the season. He'll have Cale Lindenman in the backfield with him with trips right on first down, looking to throw in the flat. It's complete at the 40, and just shy of the first down on the far side. Out of bounds, Christian Tovar is the receiver on the far side. It brings up second down and short.
Well, here we've been talking about how Winfield's going to come out and run it right down our throat. They come out throwing right on first down, but they obviously want to get a little bit of success going through the air to try to take some pressure out of the box.
Other key receivers for the Vikings, Hunter Reyes, Leighton Topper, and Justice Tate. It'll be second down and 2 to go here. Opening drive of the game, no score. Vikings at the line of scrimmage. Far side hash mark going right to left. It is Duprat out of the gun with 2 backs in the backfield. They hand off left side, and a very short gain over there as the Crusaders stop that running attempt by Cale Lindenman.
good to see the Crusaders stuff the run there. As when you're scripting a defense, you got to start with things to take away, and obviously the Crusaders want to try to take away the run game to begin with and try to force the Vikes to beat us through the air.
No gain on that left side, brings up a third down opportunity, 3rd and 3. They go to the robust T formation. Lindenman with the carry inside and has just enough for the first down across the 45 to the 46-yard line, running on that right side. And you'll see that a lot tonight, those 3 backs lined up behind the quarterback in that robust T formation. And that's an old-school power running formation.
Yeah, old-school football, and it's one of those things you're trying to get as many backs at the point of attack as possible, not having guys spread out, and they're able to pick up the first down. Good surge that time for Winfield.
So the Vikings convert on the third down teams against Buhler this year, 39% on third down. They'll put Duprat out of the gun with the tight end in motion. 2 backs stay in the backfield. Duprat with a late pitch right side to Lindenman. He's at the 50 and driven out of bounds there. And a gain of 5, make it 6 yards on first down to the Buhler side of the 50 at the 49-yard line. It'll be a second down and call it 4.
Yeah, Winfield that time went with an option to the right. The Crusader corner on the far side maybe got blocked in the back, no call there, but Winfield so far very right-handed tonight. Every single play they've run has been to their right.
Actually going to push it back to the 50 where Lindenman went out of bounds. It'll be 2nd and 6 from the 50. They stay on the ground, inside a handoff, and Lindenman this time squirts across the 50, gets just a yard to the 51. So early on in this game, Chris, key 3rd down and 5 coming up right here.
Yep, a nice tackle made that time by Will Hanen from one of the outside linebacking spots, but this is a huge 3rd down. If Winfield gains anything positive here with them taking the ball to begin with, they're probably going to be going for it.
Vikings won the toss, elected to go for it. Received the ball to start the game. Monty Lewis in his 2nd year as head coach, 4-9. Took over a program from Coach Lynn Hibbs last winning season 2019. And they go with a deep eye set here, play action, and a pass complete to the right side to first down. Is Duprat rolling out to the right and caught at the 42. Vikings 2 for 2 on 3rd down in this series to move the chains for a 2nd time.
Good tackle made in space that time by the corner on the far side, Mitchell McDaniel, but not after he got the first down.
Mitchell McDaniel's kind of been on an island a little bit this year, but coaches really talked him up this week, saying he's getting better and better, wanting to run on 1st and 10. This time they go to the left side across the 40, 35 down to the 34-yard line. And the ball carrier for the Winfield Vikings, Cole Wegeman, gets that carry for a gain of 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
That's exactly what Winfield wants to do, have big runs on first down, because that really opens up their options here on 2nd and short.
Vikings driving to open the game, back to the robust T on 2nd down and short. And they'll have a first down run to the left side to the 30-yard line. And the carry by Wegeman again. So the Vikings continuing to methodically march down the field. Nothing flashy here, but just chipping away a little bit at a time.
Yeah, we haven't had any negative plays so far tonight for Winfield. That time tackle made by Jace Henderson.
Vikings driving deep into Buhler territory in their first series. Back to the tee on 1st and 10. Quarterback Duprat under center. It's going to be Lindenman who gets lit up at the point of attack. No gain, and there's your first negative play. Give him a loss of a yard. Chris back to the 31. So we'll call that not a full yard, but we'll call it a loss anyway, huh?
Yeah, nice job by Alex Lee. He was at the defensive end spot, ran it down from behind, and that's what you got to do with Winfield. Put a little pressure on him, because they're very comfortable anytime they chip away a couple yards at a time.
All right, that sets up a 2nd down and 10. Much like Buhler, this is a tempo rhythm offense. They want to gain that 3-4 yards on every play to keep going. They go trips left with Duprat out of the shotgun on 2nd and 10. They're going to put a receiver in motion. Here's a pitch to the right side to Wegeman, and he gets whacked at the 30. Nothing there. It's going to be 3rd down and 10.
Nice job by Will Hanen coming up from one of the outside linebacking spots. Also in on the stop for Buhler, trying to get numbers here. It's hard. The sun is right
Well, Hanen, one of those sophomores we talked so much about. He's going to be a special player, I think.
Yeah, he's somebody that just, you can see his confidence just continue to grow each and every single night.
All right, big 3rd down and 10 from the right hash mark. Vikings driving on this series into Buhler territory. They hand it off to the tailback, who looks like he's going to pass. Instead, he gets sacked in the backfield for a huge loss back across the 40.
Luca Gotti with the big stick that time, and I was about to say right before that play, this is the first time we've really put Winfield in any sort of pressure, as they had the 3rd and long, and they try the pass, and Gotti with the big sack. And
yeah, they handed off to Lindemann. It looked like it was going to be a halfback pass.
Yeah, he was looking back, and they sent out their quarterback Duprat over to the right, but he had Luca Gotti bearing down in his face, and it's going to force hopefully the first punt of the evening.
Well, that'll bring up a 4th down and 20 for the Vikings now, 2 of 3 on 3rd down, and they will punt it away, and it is going to roll out of the end zone. The kick by Landon Duprat, the quarterback. So bend but not break. I think that's kind of the theme here. Gave up some yards, but at the end of the day, that Black Knight defense stands tall.
Yeah, that's a great start for the Crusaders, keeping Winfield off the board, and Winfield's gamble of taking the ball to begin the game comes up empty as they have an empty possession and do not score.
Peter will take over, 6-12. Vikings took 6 minutes almost off that first quarter clock with that drive. 1st and 10 from their own 20 with a punt in the end zone. Jeff Neal, 2 touchdowns, 8 INTs on the year. He'd like to clean that up tonight. He goes with a man in motion out of the eye. Gavin Patton had his biggest rushing night of the season last week and carries forward here to the 24-yard line. He carried for 133 last week. That's going to be one of the keys for this Crusader team. Get Gavin Patton up over that 150 mark consistently. That's going to bring you success.
No doubt, and Gavin is still waiting to break his big one. So far, I believe his longest run on the season, that 22-yarder he had last week. So let's see if Gavin can break a big one tonight.
2nd down and 6, clock running, 5:41 to go in this opening quarter, and they will snap it in the Wildcat to Matt Eddy. Eddy with a run to the left side. They line up the quarterback Neal at a wing to the left that time, and boy, just good things happen when the ball gets into the hands of Matt Eddy. We talked about that a lot. Forward progress to the 28, a gain of 4. It's going to set up a 2nd down and short. Up front for the Crusaders here tonight at the tackles, Ryland Parks and Brian Regier. Keaton Parsons and Blake Hagem in the guards, with Ty Goins has the center racing onto the field late. Is Owen Schmidt at a receiver. On 3rd and 2, they go spread with Neal out of the shotgun. It is caught at the 30, 1st down, 35-40, 45-50, still on his feet into Viking territory, and a big catch and a big run for Gavin Patton.
And that was a great call that time by the Crusader offensive coordinating staff, as they just snuck Gavin Patton out in the right flat. They brought the blitz off the edge. Winfield did. There was nobody covering Patton, and a great big play there for the Crusaders.
All the way down to the Viking 38. That goes for 34 yards for Patton. Well, not the long run you were talking about, but we'll take the long pass.
He's just like Matt Eddy. You get Patton the ball in space, he can do some damage.
1st and 10, Crusaders. Jeff out of the gun. 2 receivers left, 1 right. And delayed handoff to Matt Eddy. Running left, forward progress up to the 36-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 2. That play took a little bit of time to develop.
Well, on the read option, you're reading that defensive end and making him commit to either the tailback or the quarterback, and the DN did a great job of staying at home. So kind of at the 11th hour, Neal gave to Patton, but still a positive play.
2nd down and 8 now, inside 4 minutes to play in this opening quarter. Jeff under center, back in the I formation. Single receivers either side. It's actually Matt Eddy who's going to take the snap. Looking to throw. He has a man caught at the 30, 25-20. I believe that's the fullback over there, Braden Gentry, who caught that pass and out of bounds near the 20-yard line. So Coach really mixing some things up here twice now in this series. He snapped to Matt Eddy.
Yeah, that time they went with kind of the quarterback counter where they fake backs going either way, booted him out to his left. There was nobody within the same zip code as Braden Gentry, and a nice pitch and catch that time by Matt Eddy to Gentry for another Crusader 1st down.
That goes for 14 yards down to the 22 for Braden Gentry. That is his 2nd longest pass reception of the year. Now out of the shotgun on 1st down. is Jeff Neal. Inside a handoff to the tailback, who almost got horse-collared there, drug backwards. Forward progress, give him a yard to the 21, and that's it.
Yeah, it's tough sledding in between the tackles tonight for Buhler when you look at that big D line that Winfield's got. So one of the least successful plays for Buhler tonight, but it still goes for a little bit of positive yardage.
Yeah, you look at their big nose tackle, just a sophomore, Devin Cayley, goes 5'11", 315.
Yeah, there's some big fellas across the way.
All right, 2nd down and 9 out of the I formation. Back to Patton on a right side run, gets across the 20, falls forward to the 19-yard line, and picks up 2 more. It's going to set up a 3rd down and 7. Buhler has been successful on this drive, starting at their own 20. They've neared the Viking red zone here. See if they can punch this in and get on top first.
Be interesting to see what Coach Warner dials up here.
Big 3rd down and 6. Jeff out of the gun. 2 receivers left. Gilliam, the lone receiver, to the right side. Jeff looking left, wants to go to the end zone. It is popped up in the air, and it is it intercepted, yes or no?
They're going to say one of the defenders for Winfield, he tried to save it back into play.
But he was out of bounds.
His feet were, that was quite the play. I don't think I've ever seen a guy try to save a tipped ball back into play like that.
That was Matt Eddy, the intended target. The ball went off his hands and went up in the air. A defender for the Vikings falling out of bounds, tried to put it back up in the air to his teammate, but they say he was out of bounds.
And so it's going to set up a field goal try for the Crusaders. Last week in pregame, Jeffrey Neal drilled a 55-yarder, so this is well inside of that, and no win tonight, so let's see if he can get the Crusaders on the board.
Jeff 2 of 4 on the season, 4 of 9 for his career with a long of 44. This is from the 26. It is 36 yards. It is through the uprights and good, and Buhler gets on the board first with a field goal. 2:17 to play in the first. 3-0 Crusaders here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
This is Dr. Cecilia Hinton with Prairie Star Health Center. With fall sports in full swing, student athletes and weekend warriors alike are training and competing every day, which means accidents and injuries are sure to happen. At Prairie Star, our sports medicine team is ready to take care of all of your sports injuries, including sprains, strains, tears, fractures, concussions, and more. Give us a call to schedule your sports medicine appointment today at 620-663-8484. Because at Prairie Star, it's all about you.
Rod's Tire and Service.
Rod here from Rod's Tire and Service in Hillsboro. Tired of hearing we don't have that in stock? Well, here at Rod's Tire, we've built up our tire inventory, so we'll probably have something for you. When you come to Rod's, you won't leave empty-handed.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, back here to Crusader Stadium. Our coverage tonight from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth online at AllenSamuelsHutch.com. Come by, let's be friends. Here's the kick by Jeff Neal, taken short at the 20, return near side, 30-35, and then whacked down there, the return man at the 35-yard line.
Fantastic special teams tackle made that time by Alex Lee. And Carson, you're noticing a little different vibe down there on the sidelines.
36-yard line, Vikings,
2:12 left to go in the first quarter. You get the points, which you'll definitely take. Would have liked the touchdown, but positive first drive.
Well, and it puts a lot more pressure on a running team like Winfield. You start putting them down, that's going to force them to throw it out a little bit more than they're comfortable.
Vikings from their own 36 with a deep eye and an inside handoff. Goes across the 40 to the 41. And a gain of 4 on the first down. See that robust T formation. You'll also see kind of the old Maryland eye that they'll run some too.
Yeah, and with the Maryland eye, you've got offset backs either way. And, yeah, it's going to be – it's one of those things here. You know, Winfield's shown that they're going to mix up a few passes as well, so it's a great chance for a play action here.
All right, 2nd down and about 6. There is that Maryland eye with 3 backs behind the quarterback. And a left side handoff goes forward to the 45. They're going to be a yard shy of the first down.
Well, and the Maryland I is such an old formation that, I mean, that terminology's been around since, I mean, the dark ages.
That's up there with the veer, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or the Notre Dame box.
All right, third and short here. Vikings had a third down on their first series in which they attempted a halfback pass, and it did not go well. We'll see what they do here. They stay in the deep I with the three backs behind the quarterback. They're going to try the sneak, and looks like Dupras has enough for a first down by about a yard to the 47.
Yeah, good surge up front for Winfield to get the first down and get a fresh set here.
Talk about the Vikings' smallest guy in their line is 200. On the left side, they ran that time. They go 275 into 250. 42 seconds could be the final play coming up here in the first quarter. Buhler leading 3-0. A 6-play drive on their first series that started their own 20. Resulted in a 36-yard field goal by Jeffrey Neal. They stay in the Maryland I, and they'll pitch it deep to the tailback, Lindemann, to the far side. He's got some room. First down 40, 35, and out of bounds. Boy, you're deep in that I. What are you, 15 yards in the backfield? That takes a long time to develop, but Lindemann showing some speed there that time. Gets the first down to the outside.
And they had a whole convoy of white jerseys out in front of them to try to get to the edge, and they were able to do so. And the Crusaders were lucky that they thumped him out of bounds before he did more damage.
14 yards up to the 33-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there for the Vikings. Back in Buhler territory, they got all the way down to the Buhler 30 on their first drive, and it stalled out. 1st and 10 here, 19 seconds to go in the quarter. They'll hand it off this time in that I, and Buehler's ready for it. Lindemann gets whacked in the backfield for a loss back to the 36. Loss of 3.
Will Haynen and Brian Regier coming up with the big stick. One of the nice things about the Crusaders, when they're dealing with that Maryland I coming right at them in the interior, it gives you a long time. It's so slow developing that if you get any penetration, you can get a good shot.
All right, that'll get us to the end of our first quarter of play. Winfield driving down a field goal. 3-0 Crusaders here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Erickson Custom Building has a great plan and a budget suited for your needs. Whether it's a new build, a remodel of a kitchen, interior, exterior, or an insurance restoration project, Erickson Custom Building provides quality craftsmanship and superior customer service. We stand behind our work and have lasting relationships with vendors, suppliers, and most importantly, with you, the customer. Erickson Custom Building, proud to support all high school activities. Call 620-585-2816 or visit EricksonCustomBLDG.com.
You already know H&R Block does taxes, but you may not know you can get expert help in person or virtually, or that our tax pros average 10 years of experience. You can even request the same tax pro every year, and your biggest possible refund is always guaranteed. At H&R Block, help is here. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund. Limitations apply. See hrblock.com/guarantees.
Stop by H&R Block in Lyons, Ellsworth, or Hutch today.
Mayhem is everywhere. Protect yourself. Hi, I'm Andrew Parr, your Allstate agent in Hutchinson. Protection shouldn't be pricey. Call me today or stop by the office at 13th and Main in Midtown Hutchinson for a free quote. Are you in good hands?
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, Dupras going back to pass. And pressure in the backfield, looking for a screen pass to the left side, incomplete short. And that's going to bring up a big third down here, Chris.
Yeah, his intended target was Braylon Chatham, and he's a big target, but he just threw it at the turf, and so luckily the incompletion brings up the 3rd and long.
Pressure in the backfield that time by Alex Lee. We've talked about him a lot early in the broadcast tonight.
He's a kid that'll play with a lot of heart.
So 3rd down and 13 with Dupras out of the gun. Trips left. Pass is caught, but not close to a first down. As a matter of fact, it just does get past the original line of scrimmage. Forward progress to the 31. So again, a situation second time tonight where Vikings have driven down the field, but then that Black Knight defense has found a way to answer.
Yeah, that time Coach Coles dialed up a blitz. He had Cash Carson just bearing down on Dupras, but and was able to kind of rattle him a little bit. Now, huge 4th down.
Yeah, we'll see. Quarterback is also the punter here. Vikings now 2 of 4 on the 3rd down. Dupras going to go for it on a 3rd and long. They've got a wide open receiver, but a mistake by the quarterback. as he overthrows the target on the far side. That was Drew Graham, who was past the stick wide open, but a tough throw from Dupras, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Yeah, luckily Dupras is just staring down his receivers like no tomorrow, and that time just sailed it over the head of his intended target, and the Crusaders will take over on downs.
All right, Buhler gets it back now. 11:15 to play in the second quarter. They're going to start from their own 31 here. 1st and 10 out of the I formation. Here's Gavin Patton on an inside run. One tackle away, Christopher, from breaking that big one. Gets across the 30 to the 35, make it up to the 37.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that big one to be broke loose here one of these times, but that time Patton was cutting to the outside, but then saw a little seam and cut back and had a nice pickup on first down.
And one linebacker to beat there. 2nd down and 4. Wings left and right. Now they'll put Eddie in motion. They're going to snap it to Neal. Hand off to Patton. Inside run. Boy, nothing there. No room to run that time for the senior tailback. Patton is going to lose a yard back to the 36. And a big 3rd down and 5 coming up.
Yeah, that time Crusaders went with the double wing set, and Winfield dialed up the blitz, brought a lot of pressure, and Patton maybe lost a yard, and so now a huge 3rd down here on the way for Buhler.
Try and keep you updated on the scores as we go throughout tonight in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard. 3rd and 4 here from the 37. Jeff out of the gun. 2 receivers left. Eddie alone to the right side of the formation. Jeff looking right, looking to his main target. And the ball is caught. That is not Matt Eddie. That is Will Hannon, the tight end. Little out route to the far side by the tight end, and Will Hannon catches it for a 1st down up to the 44-yard line.
And he had some pressure in his face that time, Neal did, and nice job delivering the ball to Hannon. Big conversion on 3rd down. The Crusaders have new life again.
And that goes for 10 yards to the tight end. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 44 out of the I formation. Vikings load up the box expecting a run here. Inside handoff. Boy, those yards well earned by Gavin Patton, just a yard. 4.
And somehow the Crusaders still picked up a yard there.
Yeah, so we saw defensively last series, Cash Carson got most of the reps. Chase Gentry came off with a cramp early in the series and didn't see much action after that. And Gavin Patton in between plays is little ginger on his right ankle.
2nd down and 9, and Winfield bringing the pressure. Was that pass caught or no at the 50-yard line?
It's going to be incomplete. The ball was a little low that time. Pass is intended for Owen Schmidt, and so bring up a 3rd and long now for the Crusaders.
Vikings dial up a little bit of pressure out of that 4-2-5 defense that they feature. And a 3rd down and 9 coming up. 9:21 to go with a half and a 3-0 score. Trips left, Jeff out of the gun. Patton to his left on the 3rd down pressure again. Screen pass coming. Good block on the outside at the 50. Close to a 1st down. It might be a yard shy. A good block over there. We definitely want to point that out. It was laid out by Keaton Parsons. Very close. What, about a yard shy?
Yeah, and Patton kind of got his head jerked around right at the end. Thought we were maybe going to get lucky enough to get a face mask call, no call, but hey, good deal. They give us a fresh set of downs. Hallelujah.
Did say enough at the 46 for a 1st down, and a nice block by Parsons on the outside there. 1st and 10 at the 46. Buhler back in the eye. 8:55 to go. Here's a run up the middle by quarterback Jeff Neal. Fake to the fullback. The Crusaders slow to get up on that play. Jeff all the way to the 40. Picks up about 6 yards. It'll be 2nd down and short. And talking about that good block, just like a great block in the field. The pros at H&R Block provide the help you need and the biggest possible refund. Put H&R Block to work for you. Find the tax prep option that's right for you. 2nd down and 4 from the 40 after a nice run on 1st down by Jeff Neal. Back in the gun, 2 receivers right. Fumble by Matt Eddie on the handoff, and the Vikings may have it. We'll see once they remove all of the players off the pile. It's going to be Viking football. Fumbled snap exchange from Jeff Neal to Matt Eddie. And Buhler with the first turnover of the night. Tough blow for the Crusaders. That is their 12th giveaway of the season. They're now -9 in turnovers, and those are the miscues we're talking about in the pregame that they've got to find a way to avoid.
Yeah, going to have to overcome those tonight. Hopefully the defense can answer the bell here now.
So Winfield will take back over the Vikings with the ball. 8:07 to play in the half. 3-0 Crusaders, and a timeout on the field. Vikings will be charged with a timeout. They'll have the ball here from their own 42. And our timeouts this season brought to you in part by Pile Law. If you, a friend, or a family member have been the victim of an accident, contact Pile Law. Tom takes the time to evaluate your options. And so the turnover, man, I can't think of a time in the last 14 years when a Buhler team was -9 in turnover ratio, and another miscue there.
Yeah, the turnovers just kill because you think about it, Buhler had some momentum. We were doing a good job of converting on third downs, did a couple times that drive, or moving the ball down the field, and then that turnover just completely zaps the energy. At least Winfield still has a longer field to deal with here, because really those turnovers when you're backed up against your goal line, those are the really killers.
The encouraging part is, though, the Crusaders are moving the ball on offense.
Yes, we are moving the ball and being able to run the ball right at Winfield. That's a good sign.
Vikings from their own 42 here, 1st and 10. They're going to put Dupras out of the gun with trips left. Vikings have had to twice into Buhler territory and come up empty. Here's the tailback, Lindemann, trying to get to the outside. That's not going to work. Lindemann coming all the way from right to left and trying to get to the edge, and driven back for a loss, back to the 39. It's going to be a loss of 3.
Great pursuit that time by Alex Lee. He helped strung the play out to the far side, and that enabled one of the safeties to come up and make the stop, Gillian.
So 2nd down and long. The football sitting at the left hash mark of the 39. Vikings going left to right here. As the sun sets in front of us, it's going to be a fantastic evening. Homecoming festivities coming up tonight at halftime. Back in the robust team, and gets just a yard forward to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it was either a delayed handoff or he wasn't expecting it. Will Hannon did a great job of just swallowing him up for a 2-yard loss. So now Winfield behind schedule on down and distance. Let's see if the Crusaders can make him pay and get the ball back.
And Chase Gentry is going to rotate back in to tackle as Chase Henderson comes off the field on a 3rd down and long. Look for some pressure coming here on 3rd and 12. Dupras going to stay under center. 2 receivers right, 1 left. 2 backs behind Dupras. Play action, rolling to the right. A flag is out. Screen pass to the left, well short of the 1st down. Let's hope that is on the Vikings.
It is most definitely. Jaden,
would you decline the penalty here? That sets up a 4th and 6, right? If Coach Warner declines.
Yep, and they declined. Buhler declined the penalty. So yes, 4th, and I think they're going to spot the ball with about 8 to go.
The 44-yard line. Boy, you have to be, especially those linebackers on those screenplays, you have to be so disciplined to stay home and fill space.
You got to be the screen killer.
All right, so another timeout of the field. Let's take it here, too. 7:11 to play here in the opening half. 3-0 Crusaders on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Even trying to enjoy a fun event can be difficult after the loss of a loved one. Unanswered questions, feelings of stress and grief are only natural. As the owner and director of Inman Funeral Home, I bring over 25 years of experience bringing comfort and empathy during time of loss. Rely on me to go to inmanfh.com.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And our Crusader football coverage this season brought to you in part by the Crusader Roundtable, by Daylight Donuts, by Midway Motors, Rod's Tire and Service, and by Neufeld's Flooring. And we will have homecoming festivities coming up for 2 in a row to start the game. And Dupras just gets the punt away, and it's going to be short. And it's going to set up the Crusaders here with fantastic field position.
Yeah, so the Crusader Black Knight defense holds. That's a great way to answer after the turnover. Something bad happens, make something good happen. And now Buhler with a shortened field and plenty of time to try to make this a 2-score game.
Well, we talked about the energy, much different energy tonight out there that we've seen here in the first half.
Yeah, and I know we talk about the weather. Man, what a much more pleasant night than last week. Last week it was hotter than blazes out there at Great Bend and not a lick of shade.
All right, Crusaders from their own 39 out of the I turned it over in their last series. Jeff Field, 27-yard line.
What a great play that time. They got a one-on-one situation with Matt Eddy being guarded by Christian Tovar, and anytime Eddie's in anytime is Eddie time, and anytime he's in a one-on-one, he's going to win that battle a lot of times just with sheer grit. What a great catch by Eddie.
A 34-yard pass to Matt Eddy, who caught it off Tovar's helmet. 1st and 10 at the 27. Back out of the eye. Jeff to throw again. Near side caught at the 19. And this time on the catch is Austin Rogers. For Rogers, that'll be his first catch of the year. Catches it inside the 20. They're going to mark him out of bounds at the 19-yard line, a gain of 8.
And that throw and catch really important because last week Rogers was the guy that had the catch that got ripped out of his hands by the Great Bend defender for the INT, so that's going to do nothing but raise his confidence this evening.
All right, Gilliam and Eddy, the receivers here out of the eye. On second down and short, it's Patton on the inside run, has enough for the first down. Forward progress up to the 6-yard line. Boy, all 3 series, I know they only have 3 points to show for it, but all 3 series they have.
Winfield defenses, they know they got to defend the pass as well.
1st and 10 Crusaders out of the eye. Single receivers either side, deep into Viking territory, into the red zone here. And a handoff to the right side. Set Neal on the keeper. Forward progress up to the 12-yard line.
Yeah, that's what Buhler calls the 12 option series, where they fake to the fullback right up the gut. And Neal just kept it around the right end, was able to scamper forward for a 4-yard gain on first down.
Schmidt out, Rogers back in at receiver on 2nd down and 6 here. They break the huddle, 5:43 on the clock here in the second quarter. 3-0 Crusaders out of the eye, 2 receivers left. Gavin Patton, a hard inside run, gets ripped to the turf. Did the ball come out?
Unfortunately, I think
at the 12-yard line, they turn it over again. Gavin Patton got body slammed to the turf. When he hit the turf, or as he was going down, the ball came out. And the second straight series where Buhler has been driving that they've turned over the football.
And that one hurts a lot more because Buhler was in the red zone that time. And that was one of the things that really bit the Crusaders last week, was the 2 trips to the red zone that they did not score on. So now the defense is going to have to dial something up. Don't be surprised if Winfield doesn't try to air it out here on first down.
Well, we said the Vikings would be physical. 1st and 10 from their own 12-yard line with Duprat out of the gun. 2 backs, 1 to either side. They'll hand it off to the right side back. And I'm telling you, this Black Knight defense keyed up tonight. Loss of a yard to the 11. They came to play tonight.
They did. Great tackle that time made by Jace Henderson in the interior for a 2-yard loss. See if the Crusaders can try to get the ball back. Clock rolling. It's going to be under 5 minutes to play here in this half when this next play happens.
Vikings going left to right here. Crusader football brought to you in part by the Prairie Bank of Kansas, by Heston Bakery, by Erickson Custom Building, the Crusader Booster Club, and by Idea Tech. 2nd down and 11. Winfield 10 to go on the play clock as they come to the line of scrimmage out of the I formation. Play action right side pass. It's going to be caught and then dropped. Was it caught again? Coach Cole's right there saying incomplete. But I think they're going to give the completion on the catch to the Viking receiver, Drew Graham, who caught it, lost it, and got it back as he was falling to the turf at the 22.
Yeah, it's one I wish they had the review at the high school ranks, because we'd have a lot better look on whether or not it was trapped or not. Seems like at the high school level they tend to give the catches a lot more often to the receivers than they do.
Buhler's defensive coordinator, Coach Coles, is right there in front of the play. Of course, he's going to say no good, but they give him the catch. So 1st and 10 at the 22. Clock stopped as they move the chains with 4:42 to go here in this opening half. Again, the 36-yard field goal on Buhler's first drive by Jeff Neal, the only points in this game. Duprat a pass, and they'll wave that to play dead as somebody moved up front at the start of that snap.
Yeah, not everybody was set for Winfield when the ball was snapped, so Winfield to give 5 yards back to Buhler.
Well, we're down to 4 minutes to go in the half. That's the first accepted penalty by either team. tonight. That's a tough one for the Vikings. Again, the running teams like Buhler, you get behind on that down and distance, now they're going to have to throw the football.
Yeah, it makes it a lot more difficult to overcome. And time may be coming a little bit more of a factor, too, here with Winfield trailing. 4:34 left to go in the second. Don't be surprised if they throw it a little bit more here.
Back to the 17. Dupras out of the gun, trips left on first and long, and it is zipped up the field, overthrown. Hunter Reyes. That ball had some mustard on it. Reyes tried to reach up and grab it with Gilliam in coverage, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, I tell you what, Dupras not afraid of slinging it out there. He has not been sacked this evening. He is more than apt at throwing it.
Well, Coach Coles told me this week, he said, if we make them throw the ball, we win. That's just laying it out there.
Yep.
All right, 2nd and 15, clock stop, 4.5 to play here in this opening half of football. Crusaders with 2 turnovers. Receiver in motion, trips right. Dupras turns around and hands it off to his tailback. Big hole up the middle, but it closes quickly at the 21-yard line. Ends up being a gain of 4 by tailback Cale Lindemann, who goes to 6 foot 165.
Almost a tailback draw look that time as they put Dupras under center and made it look like they were maybe going to throw it, and then kind of the delayed handoff, but luckily the Black Knights swarmed him up, and now we have a big 3rd down on the way.
All right, see if the Black Knight defense can hold yet again here. They have done a fantastic job of stalling Viking drives tonight. Winfield on a 3rd and 11 as they come to the line of scrimmage with 9 on the play clock. 3:48 on the game clock in the first half. Receiver Tovar in motion, trips right, play action, throw back, and that is caught at the 15-yard line, and a huge loss on the play. It's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, that time they went with the tight end screen on the far side. They hit it to Braylon Chatham, and the Crusaders ripped it away. Matt Eddy came away with the football, but they ruled Chatham was down before Eddy ripped it away.
And a timeout taken here, 3:28 to play in the first half. Peter's going to have the ball back here, and a 3-0 score. We'll step aside as well. Back after this on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Checking the scoreboard tonight, late first quarter, Andale up on Smoky Valley 15-0. McPherson leading Circle 14-0. Inman 16, Sterling 0. Trinity Catholic 7, Ellenwood 0. Buhler up on Winfield 3-0. Hutch High was leading Derby early in their game 6-0. Southeast is leading Halstead 14-3. 1 6-man score in first quarter. Peabody Burns leading Pawnee Heights 7-0. With a score update, I'm Lucky Kid.
I'm Cindy Couchman. Our Ad Astra Virtual School serves pre-K through 12th grade and offers adult learning for those who need to complete their diploma. We offer dual enrollment opportunities at Buhler High School and Hutch Community College. Check us out at usd313.org today.
At Dix Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dix offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dix Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, the Vikings punting on 4th and long. Pressure on the punter, Dupras, short punt. Vikings actually down the ball at their own 34. Buehler's going to have fantastic field position here.
Yeah, maybe a 20-yard punt when it's all said and done. And so now Buhler, great field position, still plenty of time. 3:21 left to go before the half. Let's see if we can go up 2 scores.
Now, Crusaders have turned the ball over in their last 2 series, still leading 3-0. Jeffrey Neal under center back to pass, being flushed out of the pocket, chased to the near side, and he's going to get out of bounds and hit. And that could be very close to a late hit. They won't call it. Jeff Neal being pursued and just fleeing for his life, has to get out of bounds. When you're being chased by 250, 315, those big tackles up front for the Vikings.
Yeah, there was some beef after him that time. He got hit out of bounds that time by Cole Wageman, but
ends up getting a yard to the 33.
No call, but that time, did you notice there was like 17 guys tracking Matt Eddy that time? Winfield is really trying to take away Eddy time.
Well, that's where I think Coach Warner's offense got to be continuing to be creative in where he lines Eddy up at. 2nd down and 9. Eddy, one of 2 receivers to the right side. Jeff Neal will snap. looking to throw and overthrown. And probably a miscue that time. It looked like Rogers, little hesitation in his route, and then started back up and possibly not where Jeff Neal thought he was going to be.
Yeah, that time, they always talk about a receiver continuing their route, and yeah, there definitely was a miscue just reading the body language of Austin Rogers.
Yeah, he got the ball was thrown to about the 15. Rogers got to about the 20, kind of stopped for a minute and then went going again. By that time, the ball was overthrown. So 3rd down and 9, clock stopped, 3:08 to go in the first half. Jeff out of the gun, trips right. Patton on his left hip, looking to throw, screen pass. Oh, and a flag comes out. Screen pass to Patton is incomplete. We'll see what the call is by the official on the far side of the field.
Yeah, this is a pretty big penalty here, because if it's in the Crusaders' favor, it would make a very manageable 3rd down. If it's against Buhler, it might get declined by Winfield.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
So Vikings are going to accept the penalty. That'll be the first on Buhler tonight. Crusaders come in. It's their 17th penalty on the year, averaging just over 5 penalties a game. So 3rd down again. I'm not sure that I would give them a second try at this 3rd down. Football back to the 38. Jeff out of the gun, trips right. Gilliam, the lone receiver, to the left. Patton on the left hip of the quarterback. Jeff wants to throw, big throw over the middle and almost caught for a 1st down. That would have been a 1st down. Matt Eddy had the ball. He got hit as he was going to the ground. He could not hold on to the football. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, Maverick Thomas unfortunately made a great play, one of the free safeties for Winfield, and really timed it perfectly, hit Eddy right as the ball arrived, and forced the Crusaders to punt away for the first time this evening.
Yeah, that was going to be a huge catch by Matt Eddy. He was open. And now Jeff Neal will punt near midfield. Still time left, just under 3 minutes to go in this 2nd quarter. Tovar is going to return it from the 3-yard line. Vikings are going to have terrible field position. Tovar gets 2 yards to the 6, and that's it.
Yeah, some great special teams coverage that time by the Crusaders. Nick Gazaway, one of the youngsters in and on that stop for Buhler. And yeah, you mentioned it. I mean, Winfield, absolutely atrocious field position. Let's see if the Crusaders can try to make him pay.
I watched Gazaway's younger brother Ben run it cross country yesterday. Finished 4th for the 8th graders in their race. A whole bunch of Crusaders had PRs in that meet. Varsity crew goes to Rimrock tomorrow to run. 1st and 10 here for the Vikings in a 3-0 game. 2:45 to go in the half. Out of the robust team, Dupras looks over the defense. All but 2 Crusaders in the box here defensively. Run up the middle, and a good gain of about 10, make it 11 yards. That might be the biggest run of the night for a Viking. And that carry forward that time by Cole Wegeman.
Yeah, it was one of the most successful interior runs of the evening, and gives them a lot of space now, so Dupras will be operating nowhere near the goal line.
Yeah, especially considering that, like I said, Peter had everybody but just 2 guys up in the box that time, and could not come up with the stop. Now there's the stop on 1st and 10. Nothing up the middle that time for the Vikings. As a matter of fact, a loss of a yard back to the 15.
So good stop there for the Crusaders. It's going to go underneath 2 minutes before they snap the football again here.
Cale Lindemann on the carry. Lindemann came in with just shy of 160 yards in 3 games rushing. 2nd down, 11, clock running, 1:49 to go. Buhler will have the ball to start the 2nd half. Pitch to the deep halfback, Lindemann, and a loss of more yardage back to the 12-yard line. What I've been impressed with, we talked about the size of Winfield, Chris. I've been impressed by the penetration that the Crusader defense has been getting here.
Yeah, you beat size with speed, and that's exactly what the Crusaders did. Great job by Cash Carson on that play there.
And Buhler's going to take a timeout here, this pile lot timeout. If you, a friend, or a family member have been the victim of an accident, contact Pile Law. At Pile Law, Tom takes the time to evaluate your options. Lots of scores coming up and halftime festivities here. We'll get you caught up in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard. 3-0 is the score here. Buhler with that field goal on their opening series, and that has been it. Andale leading Smoky 29-0. You know, I was looking this week, Andale with that 41-game winning streak has not lost a game since 2018.
Wow.
Before the pandemic.
Wow. Yeah, the machine continues to roll on southeast of here.
Southeast to Saline leading Halstead 22-3. Inman over Sterling. Dupras out of the gun on 3rd and 14. Trips to the right side, including Tovar in motion. Dupras to throw to the right, being pressured. Finds Tovar. He's going to get a first down. I think somebody lost their assignment as he was wide open. Not a black helmet in sight. And forward progress across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
It was a nice scramble that time by Dupras as he had Black Knights all around him. Still was able to get the ball out and get the first down.
Ends up being an 18-yard pass for win number 145. If he could grab that tonight, Crusaders 14-0 all-time against the Vikes. Out of the I formation, fullback handoff inside on first down. Forward progress of a yard to the 32. Yeah, you look at that series, Chris, 14-0 all-time going back to 2010, and
Black Knight defense has traditionally been very stingy against Winfield. Under 30 to play now here in the second.
Buhler, on the other hand, has scored. Oh, what a catch! What a catch! The outstretched arms of McDowell, or McDaniel, I'm sorry. He tried to knock that pass.
It's that time for Winfield. Now all of a sudden, Winfield with some fresh energy. They only got 7 seconds, so this might be the last play of the half.
41 yards, fumbled snap. Dupras being pressured and throws it away, and that'll.
Yeah, Brian Regier did a great job of batting that football down. It's intentional grounding on Winfield, so that'll end the half.
On the offense, it's a 5-yard penalty from the end of the run and loss of down.
All right, we'll get to halftime here and await our homecoming festivity.
It's halftime.
Yes. So fortunately for Buhler, that 41-yard play there, because of the time situation, really didn't hurt you. But that was a whale of a catch, too. I thought McDaniel had decent coverage that time. He just needed a couple of more inches of reach.
Yeah, McDaniel was there step for step, and it was just a well-thrown ball by Dupras and a great catch there by Reyes. But luckily, all those yards go for naught as Winfield still scoreless here tonight.
All right, we're waiting the thumbs up to begin our halftime festivities. And thoughts on that first half? Obviously, you would have liked more than the 3 points. I think the 2 turnovers really hurt that. But I was impressed with the effort the defense gave.
Yeah, defense played really well here in the first half. And one of the other nice things for Buhler, we're going to get the ball to start the third quarter. And, yeah, hopefully the biggest thing that hurt us offensively in that first half was just the 2 turnovers. So hopefully we can clean those up.
Buhler and Winfield both looking for their first win of the season here tonight. Both 0-3 to start the year. Buhler, we mentioned, has not been 0-4 in a season since 19 festivities here at halftime.
Welcome to Buhler High School's Fall 2022.
And we'll turn it over to our announcers.
Our first couple is Cole of National Honor Society, FFA, and track. Chloe has also earned high honors all 4 years. She plans to attend high school. Was when she spilt an entire water bottle on her lap at lunch and walked around the rest of the day looking like she had peed her pants. Chloe would like to say that she remains the same. Her mom always tells her how proud of her she is, but Chloe is so extremely proud to be her daughter. Her mom with all of her fellow classmates.
Cole is the son of Jennifer and Tom Darling, who was winning the regional championship for soccer.
His favorite thing to do during the past 4 years has been attending football and basketball games, making the game-winning shot while on C-team basketball. Jackson's favorite pastime during the past 4 years has been hanging out with his friends. Couple number 2, Shaylin and Jackson.
Jolie has been a cheerleader all 4 years. She plans to pursue a career in business accounting and continue her cheerleading career throughout college. Her greatest memory is making Elite 8 at Kansas Shrine Bowl. There were more than 200 cheerleaders in attendance. Those were narrowed to 36, and from there, she was elected for Elite 8 squad.
Miles is the son of Krista and Kyle Frederick. While at BHS, Miles has participated in 3 years of basketball as well as 3 years of track. He has also been a member of FFA and achieved honor roll all 4 years. Miles' most embarrassing moment was falling over the hurdles during the 110-meter race at a home meet his sophomore year. He's enjoyed playing sports and being around his friends during his time at BHS. After high school, Miles plans to attend college, but is undecided on a major or school at this time. Couple number 3, Jolie and Miles.
Our fourth couple is Chrislyn Frank and Dietrich Willard Trask. Chrislyn is the daughter of Crystal and Justin Frank. She has been part of cheerleading, volleyball, golf, NHS, and helped to coach golf. She has also attended the National FFA Convention for 3 years. Chrislyn hopes to attend Oklahoma State University to get a general business degree. Her most embarrassing moment in high school was at winter formal for junior year when her date was singing and got his gum stuck in her hair. She would like to thank her family for always supporting her and attending her many events.
Dietrich is the son of Tara Willard and LaShawn Trask. He's been a part of the team that finally beat McPherson in 20 years. He went to state for basketball and has a 4.0 GPA through high school thus far. He won league basketball and had an honorable mention. He wants to attend college but hasn't decided on a school or major. His most embarrassing moment was during his freshman year when he was doing pull-ups beside the senior girls in weights. He has enjoyed playing basketball and being able to support his peers at other sporting events. Couple number 4, Chrislyn and Dietrich.
Our fourth couple tonight is Brooke Miller and Ethan Stambaugh. Brooke is the daughter of Justin and Melissa Miller. During her time at Buhler High School, Brooke has been involved in volleyball, track and field, as well as golf. A few of her accomplishments include achieving honor roll, receiving her varsity letters, and making it to the state golf tournament with her team last year. Brooke plans to attend HCC before transferring to WSU to pursue a career in dental hygiene. Her most embarrassing moment was during Mr. Deichler's class. While covering the first 10 amendments of the Constitution, Brooke confidently blurted out that she had learned those in church, just to be told that those are the 10 Commandments. To this day, he will not let her live it down. While at BHS, Brooke enjoys cheering on the football and basketball teams with the student section. She would like to offer some advice to the underclassmen. Make the most of your high school years. It goes by in the blink of an eye.
Ethan is the son of Amanda and Eric Stambaugh. Ethan has been a 4-year starter for the men's soccer team. He has had honorable mention in the All-League Soccer as a freshman, was a member of the second-place All-State and All-League Soccer team, and was a member of the basketball team that beat McPherson for the first time in 20 years. He plans to go to school and become a physical therapist and chiropractor. Ethan's most memorable moment was winning sub-state basketball and being on an MAYB basketball team with his friends and beating Perry Ellis's team. Couple number 5, Brooke and Ethan.
Tonight's crown bearers are Gunnar Willis and Cora Erickson. Cora is the daughter of Paul and Tasha Erickson. She is a kindergartner at Union Valley in Miss Schaefer's classroom. Cora enjoys dance class and playing basketball, t-ball, and soccer. She also has a guinea pig named Latte. When she grows up, Cora would like to be a doctor. Cora has a big heart and imagination and likes to help others and is loved dearly by her mom and dad.
Gunnar is the son of Adam and Kylie Willis. He's a kindergartner at Union Valley in Miss Petty Jean's classroom. Gunnar enjoys camping and going on trips with his family. A few other of his favorite activities include playing soccer and basketball and playing outside with his sister. When Gunnar grows up, he wants to be a pilot.
Our last couple is Taryn Horning and Jackson Allen. Taryn is the daughter of Holly and Greg Horning. While at BHS, she has been involved in cross-country, track, basketball, volleyball, FFA, and NHS. She is undecided on a college or major at this time. Her favorite high school memory is attending state track her junior year. She has also enjoyed spending time with her friends and participating in various activities.
Jackson is the son of Trey and Shauna Allen. In his time at BHS, he's been involved in Crusader Singers, Buhler Singers, debate and forensics, several musicals, National Honor Society, and received the National Academic All-American Award and placed at the two-speaker state debate as a novice. His future plans include graduating at semester, getting married to his fiancée, and finishing up with his associate's degree in business management at HCC. Following this, he will go to Wichita State to earn a bachelor's in business. This year's 2022 Fall Homecoming King is, drumroll please, Diedrich Willard Trask.
Wait till he goes. Now for your 2022 Fall Homecoming Queen. Drum roll, please. Shaylin Newcomb.
All right, well, congratulations to our king and queen, Diedrich Willard
Congratulations
Trask,
to all of our candidates.
and Shaylin Newcomb, our homecoming festivities here at halftime. Chris and I will be back. Some first half stats right after this. The Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Coverage of Crusader football continues next with the Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. Coming up, Aaron and Chris recap tonight's first half, and we'll catch up with other coaches and athletes in This Week in Crusader Sports. 95.9 HKFM.
Hi, this is Randy Gotti with the Buhler Booster Club. Please consider membership in our Booster Club to support all students at Buhler High School. Follow the Buhler Booster Club and the Buhler Crusader Closet on Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date with new arrivals and activity schedules.
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Got Spock?
Neufeld Flooring, proud supporter of Buhler High School activities. We are your experts for all your floor covering needs. Please make an appointment to visit us at 110 West 2nd, downtown Buhler, or give us a call at 620-543-2274. Go Crusaders!
Rise Up Reno invites you to participate in our Family Day photo contest for a chance to win a $100 prize package. Family Day, a day to eat dinner with your family, is a day to celebrate the benefits of eating together with your kids, including preventing risky behaviors and reducing youth substance abuse. Take a photo of your family eating together and share it on Rise Up Reno Prevention Network Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, September 19th through the 26th. Rise Up Reno.
Gabe here from Midway Motors. To thank our customers, we're offering a special 3.2% APR plus no payments through the rest of the year on all of our great selection of inventory. Our 3.2% and payment holiday is only available today and tomorrow. Midway Motors, for every mile of life.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And our coverage of Crusader football tonight brought to you in part by People's Bank and Trust, by Rise Up Reno Prevention Network, Prairie Star Health Center, by Hutchinson Community College, and by Fee Insurance. Just one score in the first half. That was the field goal on Buhler's first series that started from their own 20, stalled at the 19, and a 36-yard field goal by Jeff Neal, his third make of the year. Second longest of his career. That makes it 3-0 at halftime. Buhler did have two fumbles given away in that first half. We'll talk about all those stats and more coming up. More of our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report coming up on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Are you considering putting up a fence, building a garage, adding onto your home, or purchasing ground? For all your surveying needs, contact Alpha Land Surveys in Hutchinson at 620-728-0012 or go to alphalandsurveys.com.
As your community bank, Prairie Bank of Kansas is always looking for ways to make banking more convenient, like e-statements. Eliminate the need to file your monthly statements. Now you can be notified the moment your statement is available and easily access it online. Sign up for e-statements online at prairiebankks.com or visit one of our locations in Stafford, Buhler, Inman, or Hutchinson. Prairie Bank of Kansas. How banking should be.
And back here on our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report, homecoming tonight at Crusader Stadium, and to look at our This Week in Crusader Sports. On the soccer pitch, Buhler pushed its season mark to 6-1 with a 5-0 shutout win Tuesday against Mulvane. Ethan Stambaugh finished with a pair of goals, and Cherry, Penrose, and Kretzer contributed one score each. Buhler has now won 5 straight while allowing just one goal in that stretch. The Crusaders are home on Tuesday to host rival McPherson at Crusader Stadium. Buhler volleyball went 0-2 against a pair of powerhouse teams Tuesday in Andale and Circle. Andale defeated the Crusaders in straight sets, 25-11, 25-10, as did Circle, 25-9, 25-13. Buhler is now 7-6 on the season and in the midst of a difficult stretch in their schedule. This coming Tuesday's triangular at Jim Baker Fieldhouse will include Circle for a second time and McPherson. This weekend, Buhler's freshman squad nets it up tomorrow in the Fieldhouse to host an 8-team tournament, while JV will be on the road at Inman and varsity at Newton. Buhler Golf split its JV squads on Thursday, sending 9 golfers to Nickerson and 8 more to El Dorado. The Nickerson invite featured a scramble format with the grouping of Bailey Crace, Harley Terrell, and Grayson Bergmeyer medaling third. Jalen Anderson and Danny Rogers were right behind in fourth. The trio of Madeline Boehringer, Madison Stabe, and Julie Kroslich finished eighth. At Circle, meanwhile, the Buhler squad there finished fifth in the team standings. Delaney Hartnett led the Crusaders, shooting a 59 and placing 25th. The varsity hosted their home invitational in Heston today. We'll have results on that for you coming up. It was a quiet week for Buhler tennis. The Lady Crusaders will be back on the court Tuesday with the JV at Heston and the varsity at Kingman. Meanwhile, cross country sent a group of runners to Gypsum on Tuesday to compete at the Southeast of Saline Regional. It was by far the coolest the weather has been for a meet this season, with lots of PRs set. In the varsity boys race, Mikey Barton posted a best time of 19:37.5 to place 37th. Tuda Nolan and Jesse Gertson both set new PRs to finish 20th and 25th, respectively, for the boys' JV. The Crusaders had 4 runners inside the top 15 in the JV girls race. Allison Goins was 7th with a time of 25:20.7. The team is back on the course tomorrow with a big test at Rimrock Farms in Lawrence. On Monday, the varsity and junior varsity golf teams will both be in play. Freshman football will travel to Winfield, while JV will be home to host Goddard at Crusader Stadium. Stay tuned. Scores and first half highlights coming up here from Crusader Stadium. More right after this on HKFM.
You're listening to the Prairie Bank of Kansas Halftime Report. Tonight's second half kickoff is coming up next. Join Aaron West and head coach Steve Warner Monday nights at 6:30 for the Crusader Coaches Show, 95.9 HKFM.
Is your team paying too much for health insurance? I'm Ashley McClure with IVP Benefits Consulting Group. As an independent agency, we represent every major carrier and can find your company the best rates available. Call me today at 620-904-7010 or go to ashliecanhealth.com.
Rise and shine. It's daylight time and time to go to your happy place. With kids back in school, that means fall flavors are returning to your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts. Bear claws, pine cones, pumpkin and apple spice cake donuts, and of course, all your favorite standards made fresh from scratch each morning. Order online and have them ready to pick up by going to HutchinsonDaylightDonuts.com. At 3rd and Main and 1435 East 30th, we're your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts.
Lace up those running shoes, Hutch, and race to register for Hutch Rec's Salt City 5K 10K, presented by Salt City Brewing. Race through the Salt City Saturday, October 1st in this featured event of the 2nd annual Hutch Fall Fest. To register, visit hutchrec.com or stop by in person at 17 East 1st.
Sign up now on hutchrec.com.
Crusader football on HKFM.
All right, back here at the half. Our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report in a 3-0 game. We'll get to plenty of scores coming up for you right now. Christopher, let's take a look at our first half stats.
Well, we want to thank Ethan Ricker, as always, for supplying these to us. And almost dead even in total offense. Buhler with 138 yards at the half compared to Winfield with 136 yards. Winfield, though, ran off 10 more plays for Buhler, so Buhler averaging more yards per play than the Vikings. For the Crusaders in the first half, through the air, Jeffrey Neal goes 5 of 9 for 93 yards. Matt Eddy 1 of 1 for 14 yards. Through the air for Winfield, Landon Duproix 7 of 11 for 84 yards, and Drew Graham had that one completion for 4 yards. On the ground in the first half, both teams kind of duking it out. We didn't get the overall numbers. Sorry, Buhler with 107 through the air, Winfield with 88. And then on the ground, both teams really kind of a stalemate here. Winfield with 48 rushing yards, Buhler with 31. Taking a look at the individual numbers, Cale Lindemann leading the charge for all rushers at the half, 15 carries for 23 yards. Cole Wagaman, 3 carries for 12. Mac Moran, 3 carries for 10. And Landon Duproix, 1 carry for 3. For Buhler, Gavin Patton, 10 carries for 16 yards. Jeffrey Neal, 3 carries for 11. And Matt Eddy, 1 carry for 4 yards.
Well, I feel pretty confident that this could be a 17-0 game without those 2 turnovers.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And for Buhler here, we're going to get the ball to start the second half. I cannot tell you how critical it is for Buhler to put together a good drive and try to make this a 2-score game.
All right, Moles, you were talking about the momentum of the defense, and what do we got to do here second half as we come out to obviously take care of the football, but your thoughts on the second half?
Yeah, so the energy from the beginning of the game has been electric. Different feel than we've had all year. Coming back out, we're still feeling that. Homecoming kids are still on. Student section is still here. The offense is ready to go. Jeff was out here getting snaps, which we saw a few issues with. They've got that down, hopefully. We get the ball. Our offense is ready to go and ready to punch one in.
Yeah, I always wonder, obviously we talked about with the snapping, Ty Goins and Jeff Neal have worked a ton together, but keep in mind that the Ty is lined up over top of him against a guy that weighs 315 pounds.
Yeah, anytime you're dealing with a guy that's pushing 3 bills, you got to just worry about that guy falling on you. And but no, that's something that just the Crusaders will continue working at that, and hopefully we've seen the last turnover of the evening for Buhler.
Okay, congratulations to Diedrich Willard-Trask. Just a fantastic young man. He was fun to watch in basketball last year, and glad to have him back for another year. And then Shaylin Newcomb, which she comes from a great family as well. So congratulations to those two.
Yep, 2 nice kids getting picked by their peers to be king and queen tonight.
3-0 as we start the second half. Vikings will kick toward the north end zone with Eddy and McDaniel back deep. It is going to be taken at the 18 near side by McDaniel. Return to the 25-yard line, and that's where the Crusaders will start. Like Carson's thoughts on, hey, that energy we played with in the first half, let's carry that through.
Yeah, it's going to be really important for the Crusaders to set the tone in the second half. It's just a one-score game. I'm sure Winfield spent the entire halftime talking about, okay, let's come out and take the wind away from them. And, yeah, so big offensive series here for Buhler.
Buhler from their own 25, 1st and 10. It'll be Jeff Neal under center in the I formation. Fake to the fullback. Jeff trying to get to the outside. Good block on the edge there, just long enough to get Jeff past the 30 and a good gain of 9. Up to, let's call it, the 33-yard line, and that block there on the edge, just like a great block on the field. The pros at H&R Block provide the help you need and the biggest possible refund. Find the prep tax option for you at H&R Block. Second down here, and 2. Crusaders will keep it on the ground. Jeff Neal again trying to get to the outside, and boy, a little physical there as they Viking defender pushes him all the way past the Crusader sideline onto the track. A little extracurricular there, and short of the first down.
Yeah, anytime there's a guy getting run out or drugged down and clear at the track, yeah, there's a lot of activity going out of bounds. But Buhler went option that time to the right. Neal tried to cut back against the grain, and unfortunately don't give him much progress there, so a 3rd down on the way.
3rd down and 2 coming up, and Jeffrey chased almost out of the stadium that time by the Vikings' Cale Lindenman. And their hands up pretty high too. 3rd and 2 here, clock running. First drive of the second half, and they'll give it to the fullback, who powers through to the 40-yard line, Braden Gentry. I really like this kid. Senior, doesn't get his number called a ton, but when he has this year, whether running or passing, he's answered the bell.
And I've got good news for Aaron, a junior, so we got him for another year.
Yeah.
But it's okay. No, Gentry, a really solid runner, very solid blocker, and the Buhler system does more blocking than getting to carry the football, but makes the best of it there and gets the first down here.
1st and 10 from the 40. Crusaders convert on 3rd down. Out of the I formation here, inside a handoff, big hole up the middle. It's Gentry again across the 50 to the 45 and down to the Viking 41-yard line.
Ran a little fullback trap action that time, and the Crusaders now with a lot of momentum, Carson.
They'll stop the ball on the 41, Buhler first down.
That is a 19-yard run by Gentry. And that is
his longest
of the year.
Yeah.
1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. I formation. Receiver in motion is Eddie. Hand off to the tailback, Patton. And he runs hard to the left side. Forward progress up to the 43 for a gain of 2. Boy, you want a guy who has had to earn his yards the hard way. He's had to bring the lumber tonight, Gavin Patton.
He has, and that time he had great body lean, just kind of spun his way forward and was able to make something out of nothing. The Crusader, though, offensive line really kind of starting to push those big fellas from Winfield back here.
2nd down and 6. This drive that started at Buhler's own 25. Jeff Neal rolling out right to pass, throws up the field, man caught for a first down, past the 30. And forward progress up to near the 26-yard line. I'm even noticing just on the sideline different body language. I love the vibe this week as compared to last week.
Yeah, Buhler feeling it here. Nice pitch and catch that time. Will Haanen really got blown up on that play, but was able to hold on and get the first down for Buhler.
Haanen down to the 27-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, right hash mark. Buhler going right to left. Patton comes out wide left and maybe got a yard forward. Forward progress to the 26. Viking radar has been all over number 26 tonight.
Yeah, that time Buhler went with a sweep play, jet sweep series, and Eddie got swarmed up after he picked up about a yard. But yeah, both Eddie and Patton, they are keying on those two gentlemen this evening.
Eddie will be in the slot to the right with Jeff under center, the I formation here on 2nd down and 9. And it's going to be Patton's number again on an inside run across the 25 and up to the 24-yard line. So chip it away. He's got 2 more yards. And that's going to set up a third down here to go and about 7 yards.
And Buhler probably in 4-down territory here because the field goal just does not make it a two-score game in any way, shape, or form.
Boy, you want to come away with a score here. Up 3-0, 8:27 to go in the third. They'll stay in the eye. 3rd down and 7. Jeff back to pass, one-on-one. Rogers tangled up with the defensive back Tovar, and that'll be incomplete. It'll be 4th down. That'll stop the clock with 8:17 to play. Buhler's had just really good rhythm, great calls on offense. That play a little tough, though, down the sideline in double coverage.
Yeah, that time you hit it. Rogers was bracketed by the corner and the safety, and it was a tough window for Neal to try to make the throw.
Well, Buhler's going to go for it on the 4th down here.
From Winfield and really kind of gummed that thing up, and unfortunately Buhler's first drive of the second half comes away scoreless.
Vikings will resume with the football from their own 24. They got into Buhler territory a couple of times in that first half. Their first 2 drives, they got down in good field position on the other side of the 50. That second series, they got all the way down to the 31 and came up short. Here is Dupras out of the gun. There are going to be 4 receivers to the right side here. And hand off to the tailback, Lindemann, and he goes nowhere. Stopped at the 21. Well, I think we carry this over from the first half. Vikings are going to score and win this game. They're going to have to throw the football.
Yeah, that time Jace Henderson just swallowed him up. Big stick there for Buhler here as they open up their first defensive series. But yeah, you hit the nail on the head. They have really had a tough time running the football this evening.
7:44 to go in the third. Still 3-0. That is it. 3 points in the first half. Dupras out of the gun. 2 receivers left, and now they'll put 1 in motion. So trips left here on 2nd down and long. Dupras to throw, pump fakes, goes back up, and nobody there. I don't know if he was looking for a receiver or just got rid of it. Hunter Reyes was the receiver in motion, and he stopped short over here on the far side hash mark, and Dupras threw it long to the sideline, incomplete.
Yeah, Dupras was on the move. He was flushed out of the pocket by the defensive pressure by the Black Knight. Front 4 and throws the incompletion. And Dupras, really, you think about it, Aaron, other than that last possession in the second half, he's really struggled throwing the football this evening.
Yeah, 3rd down and 13 here from the 21. Well, now defense just wants to keep him in front of the sticks. Dupras out of the gun, 2 receivers right, 2 backs in the backfield. Play action, zips it over the middle, and that is a dangerous pass. It is incomplete. Boy, I tell you what, Chris, if Mitchell McDaniel is 2 steps farther to his right, he picks that pass off.
Yeah, and it was great coverage that time. Jeremy Gentry was in on the stop as well, and Gentry's really done a nice job. They moved him back to safety this week, and he's done a fantastic job back there.
So 4th down, Vikings going to have to punt from deep in their own territory. Quarterback Dupras is their punter. He's going to kick it away from the 15, and it bounces off the back of one of his own guys. I believe that was Lindemann. It's going to be picked up at the Winfield 25-yard line. The kick by Dupras bounced off the back of Lindemann, his tailback, and picked up, and Buhler's going to have fantastic field position.
What a nice break for the Crusaders. I don't know if Winfield gained any positive yardage. Well, they are going to spot it just short. But what a great job by the Crusaders getting some pressure, and nice job by McDaniel on the return.
Well, Buhler keeps having these opportunities. Surely one of these times they've got to knock down the door, don't they? From the Viking 23, and they fumbled the football. Who got on it? And the Vikings recover a 3rd turnover in the game, and there is some obvious frustration down on the field.
Well, the Crusaders have done a great job eliminating the INTs tonight, but the fumble bug has bit Buhler hard. We're now -13 on the season, but now the defense is going to have to step up and get another stop.
So the Vikings retake the ball, 7:09 to go in the third from their own 24. And I saw a little pushing and shoving between teammates there. And boy, you never want to start fighting with yourselves. Out of the robust tee on first down, Duprat under center. Takes the snap, hands it off his tailback, bangs forward to the 25-yard line. That'll be a gain of 1.
Nice play made by Will Haanen.
There's been very little running room up the middle for either team. Tonight, defensive fronts have been doing a great job.
They have, and Buhler really selling out to stop the run. When Winfield shifts down to their robust, the old-fashioned tee, Buhler's walking safeties up on the line of scrimmage. And
well, I would think for that robust to be really successful, you've got to be super, super physical, don't you?
No doubt.
All right, 2nd down and 9. Handoff Wegeman this time out of the robust tee, and that's going to lose yardage.
And a penalty flag comes out
on the play. They're not giving up on it, though.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Braden Gentry, I think, is going to be hit with some sort of penalty. It was way away from the play. Buhler had great penetration.
Buhler had 1 penalty in the first half. Vikings with 2.
Good ball foul. Personal foul on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the play.
A personal foul on the defense. And that is going to aid it's going to aid this Viking drive here. Clock stops, 6:29 to play here in the 3rd. Still 3-0. And boy, another situation, Carson, where that 3rd fumble, Buhler's got to figure out a way to take care of the football.
Yeah, Braden Gentry ended up having the fumble, little muffed handoff, got hit initially right as the ball, and then he turned 1 error into 2, which is what coaches really don't want to do with the personal foul.
So Vikings down from their own 36. Keeper by Duprat. He gets whacked in the backfield. Black Knight defense, no matter what's happening with the turnovers, they are playing tonight. Another big play out there on the field, no gain.
Yeah, the defense really keeping Buhler in this game. They've made Winfield really have to earn everything they've picked up this evening.
So 3 fumbles tonight, 3 turnovers. Vikings have yet to turn the ball over. Crusaders just picked up their 2nd penalty there in the play before that last one. 2nd down and 10 from the 36. Vikings driving left to right here at Crusader Stadium with Duprat out of the gun. Trips right on the 2nd down. Wants to throw quick. It's thrown high and picked off by McDaniel. Picked off at the 50. Return 45, 40, and up to the 40. I think it's a 38-yard line. Boy, all Buhler has done tonight on defense is make plays, and Mitchell McDaniel just got his first INT of the year.
Well, that's one of the ways we can start climbing out of that turnover hole is by picking them off and turning them over ourselves. Great job by McDaniel. Just a little tip drill action as the ball got tipped into the air, and the Crusaders have new life with the ball at the 39-yard line. A fresh set of downs.
Boy, all this work that the defense has done tonight, the offense has got to reward them.
Yes, no doubt. Got to put together a drive here, avoid turning it over, and get this to a 2-score lead.
4, make it 5:35 to go in the 3rd. Buhler will start to this next drive from the Winfield 39. Left hash mark going right to left, out of the I formation. 3-0 Crusaders. Jeff Neal gives it off to his fullback Gentry. Inside handoff and a yard forward to the 38, and that is it. Those inside yards with that big beef for the Vikings, tough to come by.
Yeah, it has been hard for Buhler to really get much going inside, but at least it was positive yardage on first down.
Definitely a good size up front for Winfield. What do you suppose Devin Cayley eats for breakfast?
Couple boxes of Wheaties.
2nd down and 9. Out of the I, running play. Keeper. And the option by Jeff Neal. Forward progress to the 38. Boy, both coaches sticking to their guns, so give it to the 37. Both coaches sticking to their guns with that power running game.
Yeah, you got to dance with the one that brung you in. Both these teams want to run the football. One of the best things, too, for Buhler with us, our defense haven't been out there so much with all the turnovers. You know, the offense taking some time out here. It's going to give our D a little bit of rest.
3rd and 8 at the 37. 4:30 to go in the 3rd. Jeff's out of the gun. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Looking right all the way. And Gilliam ran long. And Neal threw short, incomplete. And it's 4th down again.
Buehler's going to bring the punt team on, try to play the field position game. And, you know, Jeffrey Neal's one heck of a punter. Let's see if he can cough and corner this thing and try to put Winfield in some trouble.
All right, 4th down again. The defense has just continued. Both defenses have continued to make big plays tonight. 3 fumbles for Buhler and INT for Winfield, and Jeff Neal's going to try and pin him deep.
We're missing one of the upbacks. Schmidt will come pouring on the field.
Vikings have a return man at the 10-yard line. And Jeff Neal gets a leg into it. Tovar's going to let it bounce. It's going to stay in. Yes, at the 2-yard line.
You couldn't have drawn that up any better for Buehler.
Well, Tovar's thinking it's going to bounce and roll right into the end zone, but a little backspin on that puppy, and it stayed.
Yes, and I tell you what, you know, kind of one of the old rule of thumbs is if you're inside your 5-yard line, you stay away from it. So Tovar did what he was supposed to do, but luckily that ball died, and it's even inside the 2. I mean, that thing looks like it's inside the 1.
Down it to, let's call it the 1-yard line, 1st and 10. Crusader football on HKFM tonight, brought to you by Adams Brown Strategic Allies and CPAs. I Need a Cleaners by Holly Sweet Treats, Haypack Shears, and Alpha Land Surveys. High formation. Dupras's going to throw to the end zone and throw to nobody.
There was nobody in that neck of the woods.
He threw it 50 yards to midfield. Not quite that far. Let's call it 35. And I don't think they had a single receiver past the 10-yard line.
He just wanted to unload that thing, did not want to take the safety. And, yeah, down there, and, you know, if you throw an intentional grounding pass out of the end zone, I mean, it's a safety. So.
Well, I think our sideline, I think Moles is calling for the the flag there. All right, 2nd down and 10. Out of the robust tee. Vikings are going to keep it on the ground. Yeah, the problem with the way they've run the ball tonight, snapping from the 1, they've had a lot of negative yardage plays. I'd be tempted to try and get something to the edge here. Gain of a yard to the 2. It's going to be 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, clock continuing to roll here. This 3rd quarter just flying away.
On the play, 3rd down.
Homecoming tonight. Buhler will be back home next Friday. They take on the actually, we go on the road next Friday. We're at Mulvane. 2 straight weeks on the road again. Out of the eye on 3rd down. Dupras, play action, one-on-one looking for Tovar. And it is overthrown, incomplete. Tavian Gilliam on the coverage, and it's 4th down.
And so now Winfield will have the unenviable task of punting off the back line of the end zone. What I wouldn't give for a bad snap and a fumble recovery in the end zone.
I remember that last one he punted right off the back of one of his own guys.
Yes. And they got a big punter out there, Braylon Chatham.
So Dupras not punting here. Yeah, the way this schedule works, another 2 weeks on the road, which is unfortunate. At Mulvane, at Augusta. Low snap, and it is a bad punt. It bounced off somebody, rolls low. It's a live football. Buehler's going to fall on it. Matt Eddy heads up play. It bounced off a Crusader. I think that was McDaniel, and he got waylaid. Ball comes loose. Eddy falls on it at the 29.
Great heads-up play made that time by Matthew Eddy. It was a punt that maybe the snap was low, and so Chatham really had to reach down and scoop that thing off the turf in the end zone, and he's lucky just to get it away. But Buhler with fantastic field position. We've lived this entire half on this side of the field.
They've not been able to punch it in.
Let's put something together here.
1st and 10 here out of the I formation. Single receivers, and Patton's going to run off right tackle. Gets across the 25-yard line. They're going to mark his knee down at the 25. If Patton could take 3.5 yards every play, and if he could just eke out about 3.5 a play, he'd be okay.
Yes, we would be in the money spot. And I tell you what, with how hard Buehler's defense has played tonight, a 2-score game, it's going to feel really big if Buehler can get this drive together.
2nd down and 6, right to left here. Jeff out of the gun, actually Wildcat snap to Eddy. Late pitch, far side, and no gain on the play. I think that was Patton who he pitched it to. stopped at the 25, and it's going to be 3rd down and 6.
Winfield did a fantastic job of stringing Eddie out that time, and they always say don't pitch off air, and unfortunately Eddie pitched a little early maybe, but it'll bring up a 3rd down. Buhler doesn't have to get it all here, just try to get it a manageable 4th.
Hanen, the tight end, will check back in the game, replacing Owen Schmidt. It is going to be 3rd down and 6. Will Hanen has a couple of big catches tonight. 2 receivers left. Jeff Neal out of the gun, fakes to his tailback, throws high over the middle and incomplete. Looking in the slot for Matt Eddy. It'll be 4th down again. They're going to try the field goal here or
a long one.
Potentially go for it on 4th down.
Let's see, the ball is at the 25, so it would be about a 40-yard field goal try, but it doesn't do a lot for you.
Jeff's longest of his career is 44. I think they're going to go for it here, partner.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if they brought Briner, the holder, on. They did not, so they are going.
So 4th down and 6. Coach Warner digging deep into his bag of tricks here. Trips left with Jeff out of the gun. 4 wide receivers. Patton stays in to block. Throw over the middle. It is broken up and incomplete. And the Viking defense holds again. And as you mentioned, Buhler has lived an entire quarter of this football game on the opponent's side of midfield, and nothing to show for it.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much this entire quarter has taken place inside almost the 40-yard line, but it's just been a quagmire for Buhler offensively. Have not been able to break one loose here. And
1:47 to go in the 3rd quarter. Vikings will take over at their own 25-yard line. Their last series started their own 1. Landon Dupri out of the gun. They'll put Tovar, receiver, in motion. Trips right on 1st and 10. They hand it off to Lindemann, inside carry. Across the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Boy, gain of 3 for Lindemann. That's got to feel like a success for him the way it's gone tonight.
Yeah, that's one of the bigger gainers for Winfield this half.
28-yard line, 2nd down and 8.
Call it 2nd and 7 here. And our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard. Southeast to Saline now in the 3rd, leading Halstead 36-10. Andale 42, Smoky Valley nothing. Out of the gun. Shotgun formation, Dupras, pump fakes, now lets it go, and he throws it out of bounds. And boy, I was close there on this near side. Tovar got hit. Jeremy Gentry laid into Tovar. The ball sailed over his head. You got to be really careful there. I was watching to see if a hanky was going to be thrown.
And that's one of those that if it happens on the Winfield sideline, it maybe gets called because you got a lot more spectators that are going to be hollering and clamoring for the penalty.
Good protection, good coverage downfield. 3rd down and 8 for the Vikings. Trips right again. Tovar out of the gun again. Pressure again. Eludes it for the moment. Steps to his left. Lets go and throws it out of bounds. And good coverage downfield again. And like they have all night, that front 7 getting good penetration to the quarterback.
Yeah, Dupras has been forced off his spot almost all evening long. Good to see that heat being brought, but now a big 4th down. Obviously, Winfield probably in a punting situation here, but they've been struggling to get away clean punts here. Let's hope for another adventure in punting here from Winfield.
56 seconds to go in the 3rd, still 3-0. And would appear Tovar to punt again. And it is very short. It's going to stay on the Buhler side. Oh, my gosh. Buhler just fumbled the snap. And the Vikings are going to return it into Buhler territory. I think it was picked up by Leighton Topper. And a 4th fumble tonight by the Crusaders.
Yeah, it was a muffed return. It was kind of a, just a little dinky punt that Winfield, maybe it got tipped coming out, but one of the guys on the punt return team not used to handling the football touched it, which made it a live football. And so now Winfield will have the ball on the first time this half on the other side of the 50.
Best situation there on a short punt like that, just to get away from it.
There's an old call, a Peter call, that means just get the heck away from the football, and unfortunately
Punt cannot be advanced by the kicking team. It's Winfield's ball, 1st and 10 at the spot of recovery.
All right, so the White Hat said, and it was Leighton Topper who picked up the punt. He said the kicking team is not allowed to advance that muffed punt. And so instead of starting at the Buhler 48, it's going to start them at their own 37. So maybe a little bit of a silver lining there. Running play on 1st down, forward progress up to the 40, and a gain of 3 for the Vikings.
Yeah, well, what it does is ensures the football stays on the good side of the 50 for Buhler for a little bit longer. But, yeah, the Crusader defense, the Black Knights, are going to be asked again to try to keep the Vikes off the board here.
All right, 2nd down and 6. Out of the robust tee. And this is Lindemann across the 45, right close to the 1st down stick. I think he's got it.
Lindemann once again.
At the 47-yard line. Gain of 6.
Helping on the tackle for Buhler, Will Heenan, number 45.
I think that's just going to about do the quarter. There's only 4 ticks left. I don't know if Winfield's going to try to snap it here with these last 4 seconds.
And they will not. That'll get us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. And boy, what a tough 3rd quarter it was for the Crusaders, who great defense. Could not punch the ball in the end zone, though. It's still 3-0. End of 3rd here on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Phillips 66. Our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Got Spock?
September is National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. You no longer have to remember a 1-800 number when you're in crisis. 988 is the new suicide and crisis lifeline number for you or someone you know when having thoughts of suicide, a mental health crisis, or a substance use crisis. Help is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're not alone. Reach out for help. Call or text 988 to talk to a crisis counselor. Rise up, Reno.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Here's Lindemann to the far side out of the tee, and boy, a flag comes down on the play as Lindemann is chased out of bounds. So it goes back to Buhler's 4th turnover of the night. And it all started with a muffed punt. We'll see what the penalty call is here. Vikings are acting like it's going to be against them. It is holding on the offense.
10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Well, we will take
That is
the
a
hold.
huge penalty against a team that struggled to move the football.
Yeah, now it's going to put him behind schedule, and so be prepared for Winfield to try to air it out here. And this is kind of the point in the game, too, where I wouldn't be surprised if Winfield goes into the bag of tricks trying to break this deadlock open.
Moves it back to the 35. Remember they tried that halfback pass. It didn't work in the first half. 2nd down and 22 here. It's throw over the middle to the tight end. It is caught up at the 42, well shy of the 1st down. Caught by Braylon Chatham.
Yeah, a little tight end dump that time. They faked to the fullback to the right and just popped up and hit Chatham over the middle. Good job. The Buhler Crusader defense held tough there.
Chatham goes 6'1", 225. So when he stands up, you notice.
Yeah, he's a big tight end.
3rd down and 14 at the 43. And the officials have huddled right at the football on the far side hash mark. Vikings now in the 4th going right to left.
Maybe we'll get lucky with an illegal man downfield.
Our coverage tonight live from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. Allen Samuels, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Hutch. Come by, let's be friends. Crusader football this season brought to you by Allstate agent Andrew Parr, by Midwest Iron and Metal, Red Rock Auto Center, by the Medicine Shop, and by Ediger Family Dental. Well, the weather's really changed out there, too. You can feel the cool air as that sun has gone down. Starting to feel a little more like we should be playing football, buddy.
Well, we finally are in fall, and it took us getting all the way officially to fall to get out of the hundreds.
Now we've got timeout taken here by somebody. Officials were huddled around the football forever.
They were having a big discussion on what down it actually was.
And now we've got a timeout taken on the field, this Pile Law timeout. If you, a friend, or a family member have been the victim of an accident, contact Pile Law. At Pile Law, Tom takes the time to evaluate your options. We'll take a quick timeout, too, here on HKFM, the Crusader Sports Network.
Are you tired of your dusty or muddy driveway? APAC Kansas Shears Division is here to help. This is Derek Fees. Call us and ask us about our asphalt millings. If you are a do-it-yourselfer, arrange for pickup or delivery at your convenience. Call APAC today.
Appointment to visit us at 110 West 2nd, downtown Buhler, or give us a call at 620-543-2274. Go Crusaders!
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, we're still waiting for our Schmidt Electric spark of the game call. I think the way this game's going, it's only going to take one.
Yes, I think the Crusaders, when we finally get that first touchdown of the night, that could very well be it.
All right, 3rd down and 14. Dupri out of the gun. He's got trips right, single receiver to the near side. They'll throw high again. He has consistently, and there's a flag down to the backfield. He has consistently been high on his throws.
Yep, well, if you're going to miss, you want to miss high because it's harder to intercept, and it's going to be a holding on Winfield.
10-yard penalty. That penalty is declined.
And Coach Warner will decline the penalty and likely force the Vikings to punt the football away here. So on the road next week at Mulvane and then Augusta.
43-yard line.
This defense plays like this. I think they're going to be in those games.
Yes, yes.
4th down and 14. Duprat a punt from his 35. Finally gets one away. It is caught at the 30. Returned, and this is Eddie to the 40, to the Buhler sideline. 45-50 into Viking territory.
Whoa,
and a big late hit. And, boy, that's got to produce a flag, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Matthew Eddy got tackled almost all the way to the trainer's table that is situated on the track at midfield. Yeah, and Winfield throughout this entire evening has been doing a lot of activity.
Well, you know, the interesting thing is with the big return, we talked about Buhler staying in Winfield territory. There is a dead ball foul against the Vikings. It'll be their 4th penalty tonight, 15 yards from the end of the run. You know, now they're starting in Viking territory again in the 4th quarter. At some point, they've got to make something happen.
Got to break out of these shackles and get across that goal line. But what a great return that time for Eddie.
27-yard line.
And with the personal foul on top of it, with the late hit out of bounds, Buhler knocking on the door of the red zone yet again.
From the Winfield 27. 1st and 10 Crusaders. 4 turnovers tonight, including a muffed punt. 3 fumbles. And flags come out of here as Jeff Neal gets tripped up at the snap. Question is, did his guy move or was Winfield? It is a false start against the offense. And I think we've been talking about 69 Devin Cayley all night tonight. I think Jeff Neal got knocked to the ground by him.
Yeah, that time Neal they barely got through one of the A-gaps and got a hand on one of his feet to gum him up, and but the penalty, irregardless, moves it back 5.
Back to the 32. That is the 3rd of the night. Matt Eddy goes in motion out of the eye on 4th down. Gavin Patton, it's time for a big GP run.
No doubt.
He'll get the penalty yardage back. Gets back up to the 27 to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be a 2nd down and a 10. How about a 27-yard Gavin Patton run?
Yeah,
here?
I'd love to see him get his career long right here.
2nd and 11 for the Crusaders.
At some point, you got to figure this offense is going to put it together. 2nd down and 10. Jeff under center, I formation. Pitch play right to Patton. Now he goes inside across the 25, dives forward to the 24-yard line.
fantastic block that time thrown downfield by Braden Gentry. Really helped to kick out the end and spring Patton for that run.
Actually move him down to the 23. So 3rd and 6. Buhler very well might be in 4-down territory again.
That's what I was about to say.
I formation on 3rd and 6. Jeff Neal takes it from going, stumbles, fumble, and Winfield says they've got it again. Could it be a fourth fumble tonight? 3 fumbles and a muffed punt. And now the Vikings recover yet another fumble. This time on the quarterback. You know, here's the interesting thing. 4 offensive fumbles by 4 different guys.
Yeah. Oh, that's just tough. I mean, Buhler's done such a good job. We haven't had an INT tonight, but and the one thing, too, about it, when a team has struggled turning the ball over, it starts becoming such a mental thing where guys start really worrying about it more so than you normally would. And unfortunately, Winfield gets new life. It's still just a 1-score game.
Vikings from their own 23.
Hopefully the defense can keep hanging tough.
Yeah, the fumble. We looked at Ty Goins before the offensive series. Ended up getting his leg taped. That caused the step on Jeffrey and maybe some more.
Dupras under pressure on 1st down from the 23, airs it out. It is short of Tovar, the intended target. Dupras just about got his head taken off.
And that was actually, it was a tailback pass. That time they went to the bag of tricks out of the Maryland eye, and luckily the ball was underthrown.
So Cale Lindenman trying that pass downfield. Buhler has consistently gotten pressure in the backfield tonight. 2nd down and 10. Clock stop, 9:29 to go here in the 4th quarter. Still 3-0. That field goal on Buhler's very first series of the night. Here is Dupras out of the gun. Trips right. Steps up in the pocket and wants to throw. And again, boy, like he's telegraphing it high every time. Incomplete, out of bounds.
It's a good thing for Buhler that he's been just airmailing all these passes tonight. And a lot of that's a testament just to the front 4 of Buhler. You know, Buhler's getting a lot of heat on him. He obviously isn't very comfortable in the pocket.
As you say, the thing I've noticed is starting to get happy feet. And,
yes, he is worried about the front 4 of Buhler bearing down on him. And he's done a good job avoiding sacks.
And takes the snap high, wants to throw right, and it's almost picked off. Defensive back on that far side timed it perfectly as the pass was intended for Hunter Reyes.
Great job by Mitchell McDaniel getting the breakup. He had the INT earlier, so good to see that young man having a great game in the secondary for Buhler.
Well, Coach Warner called in our coaches show. He said Mitchell's taking a lot of heat from some of those big receivers early in the year, but he said he's working hard and he's going to get better.
Yeah, here we come for the punt. Peter is the key word here. As we look, another short one comes up. Eddie's going to take it.
All right, Matt from the 50 dances left, now goes right, now goes up the middle across the 45. So it's Peter, not Paul or Mary.
No, it is Peter is the universal call for a short punt and just to get the heck away.
All right, 9:09 to go in the 4th.
Is this going to be the drive, fellas?
Oh, my gosh.
Is this going to be the drive? That's what we keep on asking ourselves.
It's only going to take, at this rate, it's only going to take 1.
Well, if a 2-score lead is like a 3-score lead tonight, which is how well the defense has played.
Out of the I formation from the Winfield 44. Inside carry. Gavin Patton stays on his feet, still turning all the way up to the 30. Patton originally stopped at the 40. Again, so close to breaking a big play, and just the legs of Gavin Patton that time all the way down to the 28-yard line.
That's just the guts of a senior right there, just grinding it out, wanting this win, trying to break this losing streak, and a great carry on 1st down by Gavin Patton.
Absolutely, goes for 16, 1st and 10 at the 28, I formation. Single receivers either side. Jeff's going to give it to his fullback, Gentry. Busts through that line across the 20, still on his feet, being pushed down to the 15. They're going to mark him down at the chance.
Yes, back-to-back 1st down carries for Buhler.
At the very least, they're now in Neal field goal range.
Yes,
so,
well, and this is that point in the game. You don't want a field goal. We want to try to get the 6. And but I tell you what, that Winfield defense is starting to look gassed finally.
All right, first and 10 at the 16. To the edge! Touchdown, Crusaders!
Finally.
Gavin Patton! And we will make that, my friend, our
of the night for him, and for the first time, Buhler crosses the goal line, and finally, the 2-score lead that has eluded us all evening is in our hands.
Be sure your project will be done right the first time with over 15 years experience. Schmidt Electric. It comes with 8:05 to go in the fourth, leading 10-0 over Winfield on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
You already know H&R Block does taxes, but you may not know you can get expert help in person or virtually, or that our tax pros average 10 years of experience. You can even request the same tax pro every year, and your biggest possible refund is always guaranteed. At H&R Block, help is here. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund. Limitations apply. See hrblock.com/guarantees.
Stop by H&R Block in Lyons, Ellsworth, or Hutch today.
Summit Surgical and Pinnacle Rehabilitation and Sports Performance, together for your orthopedic needs. Now seeing physical therapy patients at Sterling College.
At Fee Insurance Group, we've been working side by side with our clients for more than a century, helping them prepare for the unexpected and supporting the teams, schools, and communities.
August scores coming up for you. August scores coming up for you after the game. 8 minutes to play and a 2-score lead. Buhler has pitched a shutout. To this point, Vikings are going to have the best field position they've had in a while at their own 48.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they really deviate from trying to run the football and try to air it out here. If you're a Buhler defender, you just got to be ready for anything.
Vikings have only scored multiple scores twice in this series. The throw over the middle, incomplete, flag out at the end of the play. Kind of right in the middle of the field. And I'm wondering if that's not against the Crusaders.
Yeah, with where it was thrown, it was downfield far enough. It could be a defensive hold.
Pass was intended for Hunter Reyes, number 30 yards, and that is it's a tough 15-yard penalty on that pass interference. It'll push the Vikings well into Buhler territory here late in the game.
Yeah, it gets them across the 50 and gets them some momentum with the clock.
To the 38-yard line. Into Buhler territory.
38-yard line, first down.
Well, if you remember, to close out the half, Winfield had some success throwing the football.
That ends up being a huge penalty here. First and 10 from the Buhler.
Yeah.
He's been on the run this entire second half.
Yeah, Alex Lee, Chase Gentry, Jace Henderson, Brian Regier all have done a great job of just hurrying him tonight and making sure he doesn't get comfortable. Yeah, Winfield kind of in do or die territory because Buhler gets the ball back. You just got to grind out time and try to hang on for the win.
7:52 to go in this game. A single back set. They're going to hand it off. Near side run. Hard to hit. Lindemann tries to stay on his feet but cannot. He'll be brought down short of the 35 at the 36-yard line. It's going to bring up third and long after that gain of 2.
Yeah, he got popped pretty good, spun out of it, and was able to hang on to the ball and his feet for an extra yard. But Buhler really making him pay for every inch there. And Winfield definitely in 4-down territory here.
Buhler's pitched 3 shutouts in this series. The last came in a playoff win in 2018. And I think Coach Warner wants a timeout here.
Timeout, Buhler.
Pile on timeouts. If you a friend or a family, Sports Network.
Updating the AdAskRadio.com high school football scoreboard tonight, Buhler and Winfield. Buhler leading 3-0. That was a halftime score. Trinity Catholic at the half was leading Ellenwood 10-0. Central Christian up on Fairfield 40-8 at the break. Haven Valley 35-0. And Southeast of Saline was leading Haven 30-3. Meanwhile, Hutch High and Derby still 21-14 Salt Hawks at the last word we had. They'd score into us. Andale now leading Smoky Valley in the third, 42-0. With the score update, I'm Lucky Kid.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And thank you to Lucky Kid back in the studio for the
Fairfield tonight, 54-8.
So third down and 7 here for the Vikings with Duprow out of the gun. Trips left. Pitch. And flag comes down on this near side of the Buhler sideline away from the play.
Really late whistle.
Right at the point of the pitch.
Scrimmage. And so that'll make their third down even longer here.
Fifth penalty of the night. The Vikings, you know, there are years when I think we kind of question some of the calls of the officiating that happens on the others been really solid.
Yep, well, you always want to see the officials not really be the showcase. And, yeah, you really haven't noticed them in any of the games so far this season.
Yeah, fortunately, sometimes we should bottle those opinions up. All right, third down and 12. A pass tipped high in the air and incomplete.
So now Winfield with a really hard 4th and long here. And did a great job. You know, Dupree has been running for his life tonight.
I really like, of course, you know, we know what Matt Eddy brings to go in the game. Dupree finally with some time over the middle, incomplete in coverage.
Yes.
You know, they've been
split out in coverage.
They've
Yes.
been in coverage so much to start the year.
Yeah, that's one of the things about being a spread team. Your formations, the linebackers getting to play downhill and be run support guys primarily.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 40, and a handoff up the middle. Buhler's going to want to churn some time off this clock here. It's gone final in Sterling. Inman wins. They began the district play tonight in 1A. 40-0, I believe, is the final there. Andale beats Smoke.
Just got another update up in McPherson. Mac up 28-9 over Circle. So looks like McPherson's going to be in the catbird seat in Division III.
All right, 2nd down and 7 clock running. 6:18 to go in the game. Out of the I formation, Jeff takes the snap, fullback handoff, Gentry, nothing there. Vikings meet it. And we'll give them no gain to the 43. All this old school football makes me want to go home and watch We Are Marshall.
Yeah. I thought you were going to talk about the 85 Bears, you know, just running football.
Watch that too, yeah.
But yeah, no, the 1+2, it really speeds up the game when people keep it on the ground.
I don't quite have anybody like Fridge Perry out there.
No,
but,
no.
3rd down and 7. 5:42 to play in the game. And Jeff Neal in the option is going to keep it. Turns the corner on the far side, gets across the 50. Well, that play didn't look like it was
going to spring him around the edge, and just good hard running that time gets Buhler into Viking territory, and most importantly, a 1st down.
Big college games this weekend. K-State goes to Norman to take on the Sooners. My partner's going to be at that game, and I'm trying to get him pumped up. He's a little nervous.
A little pessimistic after last week.
1st and 10 at the 48. High formation. Gavin Patton across the 45 gets up to the attention very well this week, and he's done a very good job of deflecting all of the talk about Nebraska, which I know has KU fans holding their breath just a little bit. I keep hoping that it goes to bed. 2nd down and 6 at the 44, out of the I formation. Inside handoff. And forward progress to the 42-yard line.
Team K-State KU game.
Yeah,
I was
they
there.
were all wearing,
yes.
They were all wearing purple.
Yes, Les Miles was mistaken when he thought there was more KU folk there.
I guarantee you there was no side. And a fullback handoff up the middle. I think Gentry's going to have enough for the 1st down at the 36-yard line.
Yep, going to get the first win of the 2022 campaign.
Well, we talked about this in the pregame. Last time that they went 0-3 to start the year, we'll
outs. That's kind of a last gasp here.
So I think we said the last 0-3 start was 2010, and they before that year on homecoming against
Winfield.
How about that?
But to date that's yeah, none of these kids were born.
Some success over the years, but I was surprised. I guess between Coach Porter and Coach Warner, they had some really lean years.
Yes.
But they had not had an 0-4 start. You go all the way back to 76.
Yeah, that's before our lifetimes.
Under head
Coach Prather and Coach Porter once were the golf coaches here at Buhler High.
I think Coach P still gets out on the even with that window between Porter and Warner where they struggled. I mean, there's a lot of tradition in this program.
Yes, yes.
A lot of pride.
Yep. And hats off to the crowd tonight. We had a fantastic crowd. Still a lot of folks still here.
2nd and 11 here at the fence. To the 35-yard line. And Vikings will take another pile law timeout here. Let's take one with them. 2:58 to go in the game. 10-0 here on HKFM and the Crusaders.
Not doing laundry. Keep your knit polos and khaki pants looking great. For the winning look, stop by I Need a Cleaners, 13th and Main in Hutchinson.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And we'll tell you that our coverage of Crusader football tonight is brought to you in part by Morton Salt, by IVP Benefits. First Saturday in October. And looking forward to that. I know a lot of alumni will be back for that. Of course, the game is on the road next Friday at Mulvane. So it's 4th down and 4. Coach Warner, be tempted to go for it here?
Yeah, I mean, because
this late in the game?
Yeah. Look for some play action here.
4th down and a long 4. They'll be in the eye. Eddie, receiver to the far side. It's Schmidt to the near side. Out of the first series of the night. 1 score in the first half, 1 in the second. And now Coach Warner wants a timeout.
Timeout of the half.
Crusader football on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Samuels of Hutch has teamed up with
Allstate Dina Brislin Agency and Trinity Catholic Junior Senior High School
for Pink Digs for the Cure, a benefit for Cancer Council of Reno County.
Get your t-shirt at any Trinity volleyball home game or at Allen Samuels on the giant corner of 30th and Lorraine. Wear it to the games on October 3rd and 4th when we present the total money raised to the Cancer Council. Help us dig for the cure. And as Mr. Samuels always says,
it is a noon kick from Indianapolis against the Colts on Sunday. And you can hear the game with Mitch Holtis on the call beginning at 11. Pregame on our sister station, 96.7. Proud to carry Chiefs football this year. Sterling College tomorrow. They are home against Tabor with a 6 o'clock kick from Spicer Stadium. We'll be on Scott Hogan tomorrow night at 5:30 with the Alden State Bank drive to the game. 3rd and a long 4 here. Jeff under center. And flag out.
It's going to be a false start on Buhler.
And a false start on the Crusaders. Hutch Blue Dragons have a big matchup in the Jayhawk in Coffeyville against the Red Ravens, which I always go to Coffeyville. It feels like I've gone to a different country.
Yeah, it's a long ways down there.
Like, surely I'm out of Kansas by now, but
it's a long ways down there. But, yeah, it seems like JUCO just keeps having big game after big game. Had the big win over Iowa Central a couple weeks ago. And
road trips, is it,
bus rides.
Bus rides just have a funny way of wearing guys out.
Yes.
4th down and 9. They stay in the eye. Can't imagine that they'll try to throw. They're going to pitch it. I think that's Eddie, or is it Patton?
It's Patton.
You know those dark numbers, the 22 and the 26, sometimes wrong angle there, and Winfield's going to stop at a turnover on downs here.
The ball will turn over on downs with 2:06 to play.
Score of the night, and good for that young man. He really had to earn his yards tonight.
He did, and battled hard. He's dealing with
pressure and throws it high out of bounds again. That's a young man that is going to be glad to get on the bus after the game.
Yeah.
10 stops the clock. 2 minutes to go in the game. 7 o'clock next Friday from Mulvane. We'll be on at 6:25 with our Midway Motors drive to the game, and then the following week at Augusta before coming home for the Pups. And I think we've got Rose Hill here too, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Throw down the field is almost picked off at the 45. I think 2 Crusaders.
The night. Clock stops on the incompletion.
They're down in 10 at the 38. They kind of, I think they took each other out. They threw a lot with a broken finger and surgery, and he was a little tentative. He even admitted it to injure that finger again. And out of bounds at the Buhler 46-yard line on the far side of 47. 1st and 10, 1:45 to go. Now, if you're the Black Knights, you have played fantastic all night The only thing that matters right now, other than the win,
Just keeping that shutout.
is DePrat's going to take off, and a block by Tovar on the far edge.
Running with the ball after trying to find the receiver.
That's one thing.
Goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, the Black Knight defense really has done a nice job of limiting Duprat on his scrambling opportunities.
Out comes 32 Chase Gentry. Let's give a shout out to Chase Gentry. He's up there playing on the line, comes out hobbling. Duprat a throw, caught at the 20. 5'7", 138. I bet he's 138 soaking wet.
Yeah.
And he's a kid with a lot of heart. 1st and 10. McDaniel had an INT earlier tonight. Just about had another. Clock stopped with 1.
Yep, really dragging things out.
But barring any kind of natural disaster, Buhler gets win 1, and the clock stopped with 1:08 to go.
They're down, so Buhler just 2 stops away from going to victory and getting the first victory of the year.
1:08 to play.
They'll come to practice with a little different bounce in their step after this.
When you're searching for that first win of the season, yeah, everybody's going to sleep really well.
Side in coverage, tipped and incomplete. Gilliam on the coverage there in the end zone. Incomplete, it's 4th down.
So one more bullet left potentially here for Winfield. Breath of fresh air.
Unfortunately for the Vikings, I don't see a mark them down for a win coming up on their schedule. It could be a long year for this squad, who goes home to host McPherson next week. Here is Duprat out of the gun, evades pressure, throws down the field, and that is almost intercepted in the end zone. Incomplete, and a turnover on downs with 55 seconds to go. Almost picked the ball off.
Yeah, everybody was trying to get the INT tonight. Picked him off one time earlier in the day, but wasn't able to get one down the home stretch.
All right, so Buhler will take over with 55 seconds to go in the game from their own 29. We just cannot rave enough about the way the defense played tonight. And Jeff Neal will simply take a knee here. And the one black eye for the Crusaders is 4 fumbles and a muffed punt. They turned the ball over 5 times tonight, buddy.
Wow. Yeah. So it's a rarity. Very rarely do you turn it over 5 times, only turn over your opponent once, and win a game.
That tells you how dominant the defense was.
Yeah, the defense was nails tonight. You know, Winfield really struggled to get any consistency on offense. Yeah, I mean, and the thing about it, this is a team that wants to run the football, and Buhler really did a great job of stepping up there, dealing with the team that was bigger across the front than us and stuffing them.
These young guys figuring it out.
Yes, getting better as the year goes on, and you're talking about how Winfield's schedule does not set up in their favor. You know, for Buhler, you know, this is the kind of game that maybe can get things turned in the right direction.
Yeah, Mulvane winnable game, Augusta winnable game. Rose Hill winnable game. I mean, at this point in the season, the way things gone, there are no guarantees.
Yeah.
But the opportunity is there. And they'll take a knee again. Vikings likely out of timeouts now. They are. Buhler has 1 left, but certainly no reason why they would use that. 37 seconds left. Crusaders are going to win it. Boy, when you've been in a slump, it feels even better, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. First one
It's
always
like,
feels good.
It's like somebody's lifted all the weight in the world off your shoulders. I know how, hard these kids have been working and how bad these coaches want it for the kids. And the other thing about that, too, is, you and I talked about it earlier today. Anytime things are going great, everything's great. When things stop going great, then where the leaks are in the ship, people start pointing them out.
No doubt. A win solves a lot of problems.
And the tough thing about that is, obviously at the end of the day, the name of the game is to win, but you got to remember, these kids are 16 and 17 years old. And for most of them, when they graduate and leave high school, they'll never play football again.
Yep, it's the last hurrah for most of these young men. And just very happy for the boys.
Energy last week, so different tonight. It's fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, tonight was amazing. You have the atmosphere of homecoming, but you also have the atmosphere of doubt. For some reason, Buhler loves being doubted. That's when they play their best. Tonight, they were doubted. The first half died off a little bit the second half, but when Matthew Eddy got that late hit out of bounds, some of the defensive guys that were still there, they got up real quick and they started getting ready to go. Jace Henderson was the vocal leader on the sideline, which we need to have more of from him. And then Cash Carson stepped up in a big way, providing that energy with a hurt Gentry. I think that being able to get that quarterback pressure really got into the head of a team that, you haven't won and things aren't going right, that you're going to default to what's happened in the past.
Yeah, the other side, look at it. Coach Lewis has got his kids huddled at midfield here, and now some heavy lifting for him. He's got to find a way to keep his kids motivated and keep fighting hard. That's tough.
Yeah, I mean, when they are coming in tonight, both teams being over, they knew that this was one of their opportunities to try to notch their first win of the season. They host Mac next week, and it's going to be. I would not want to be a Winfield Viking right now.
I don't think Mac didn't set Circle on fire tonight, did they?
They didn't. We'll take a look and see what was the last score that we had from up north. The last score we have was 28-9 at the start of the fourth. So, Circle put up some points this year against Mac, and Mac definitely in the driver's seat in Division III this year of the AVCTL.
Well, I heard Coach Pav say this week, of course, head coach McPherson, somebody asked him about, what do you think about this Buhler team being 0-3, coach? And he said, I don't care. He said, that's not going to matter when we go to Buhler and play them. I don't care what their record is. So, smart coach.
Yep. Never give any bulletin board material to the enemy.
Never, ever. That's a big, big no-no.
All right, our Crusader Locker Room show coming up. Final stats. Get you our player of the game and some other scores. That's all I had here on this homecoming win Friday night. Feels good to get that W. 10-0 Crusaders here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Coverage of Crusader football continues next with the Crusader Locker Room Show. On the way, Aaron and Chris recap tonight's game, and we'll hear the post-game thoughts of head coach Steve Warner. Your home for the Buhler Crusaders is 95.9 HKFM.
If you're getting ready to buy or sell land, start a building project, or have a property line in question, call Alpha Land Surveys. With over 30 years of experience, you can trust Alpha Land Surveys. Call 728-0012 or go to alphalandsurveys.com.
Even trying to enjoy a fun event can be difficult after the loss of a loved one. Unanswered questions, feelings of stress and grief are only natural. As the owner and director of Inman Funeral Home, I bring over 25 years of experience bringing comfort and empathy during time of loss. Rely on me to guide you through all aspects of planning a funeral service with compassion, dignity, and respect. I'm Athena Johnson with Inman Funeral Home. Find me at inmanfh.com.
At People's Bank and Trust, we value our customers. We know you have plenty of choices for your mortgage loans, but we think we have what you're looking for: relationship banking. And if you're considering refinancing or purchasing a new home, check our competitive rates before you make that change. Your payments will be made at home, and you'll receive good personalized service. That's how we've established many long-lasting relationships. Make a change, know your lender, and make your payments at home with People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you're looking for a late starting college class, Hutchinson Community College may have what you need. It's not too late to get enrolled. We have classes starting throughout the semester. Call 620-665-3535 or email myfuture@hutchcc.edu today.
At Fee Insurance Group, we've been working side by side with our clients for more than a century, helping them prepare for the unexpected and supporting the teams, schools, and communities we all care about. The Insurance. Forward together.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And welcome back on our Crusader Locker Room Show. We've been live tonight from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. And, yeah, life is so much better after a win. The drum line's down underneath doing their thing, and everybody's happy.
Yes. Just such a better feeling. And, yeah, just happy for the boys tonight. It's one of those things that they've been working hard, working year-round at this game. And good to finally see all that hard work pay off with the dub.
Well, we spent the entire, Buhler did, the entire second half in Winfield territory. And I kept thinking, okay, this is the positive thing. Jeff does not throw an INT tonight. That's got to help his confidence. But still some issues with that snap, I think, that they've got to get cleaned up.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them working on it during the game. Goins ended up getting taped up, but they got called back for a penalty. But that's something that is going to have to be ironed out. You take care of one issue, and another one pops up of the same brand. And that's not something that you're going to be able to win a whole lot of games with.
Yeah, now we'll brag on the secondary a little bit. With all of that in mind, they got a ton better tonight.
They did. They played really physical tonight, really didn't get beat, even on some of the balls that were overthrown by Duproux. Did a good job of keeping guys in front of him. And, the thing I really noticed, too, gang tackled. Anytime that there was a completion.
Questionable hits on the sideline. That second one, Matt Eddy was well out of bounds when he got hit. And I think they kind of lit a new fire under the defense to, hey, you're not scoring on us tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the whole third quarter. We're on their side of the field. Our defense is like, all right, we're starting to get this. We're starting to figure it out. We're starting to pressure the quarterback. And then that hit happened out of bounds on Matt Eddy. And the defensive guys who aren't on offense, that lit their fire. They're like,
absolutely good stuff. Good win by the Crusaders, 10-0. Let's get Coach Warner in here and get his post-game thoughts. First of all, Coach, how about your defense? My goodness.
The defense was outstanding. I mean, they hit hard.
And to physically see how much better they're getting is a fantastic thing.
I agree 100%. Just a lot of improvement. Our tackling is so much better. He would jump up two steps away from the receiver instead of taking two more steps. And in this situation, he would have taken one jumps, which I think he did later in the game. And so, again, just showing a ton of improvement. And he's a tremendous athlete that's only going to get better and better for us.
Yeah, absolutely. You spent the entire second half on offense on their side of the field. It's tough sledding. Running the ball, obviously, I think that speaks to the credit of their front seven as well. But I know that very easily could have been more points on the scoreboard tonight if some things got a little bit. I will say this. Obviously, the turnovers, I know that you guys will talk about that in film on Sunday, and that has been a theme this year that's been a problem that you guys are working on getting cleaned up. But let me just say positively, the way
because he's hurt obviously, and running that's something that we like to do a lot because we feel like we can outman people, but not when we have a couple of guys who weigh 175 pounds, and they're giving everything that they possibly can. But when they're going to get somebody that's 280, 275, it's very difficult.
Well, I know that guy who calls the offensive plays. You guys you'll figure it out. You keep turning, and it'll come. Just hang in there.
We're sure trying. I'll guarantee you that.
All right, Coach. Well, enjoy this one. I know it's got to feel good for your kids, obviously, and lift their spirits. It was fun to watch them celebrate after the game, and I imagine they'll come to film on Sunday, hopefully with a little extra spring in their steps. So,
without a doubt, and the celebration that we have, it's a tradition of how we do it. Of course, they forgot how to do it because it's been so long since we had to win, so I had to go over with them. But they're very excited, and this is something that can propel our team offensively at the end of the game. A positive that we did score finally. I mean, I know we had every opportunity in the world to score at different times, but we finally did score. We scored a touchdown and made it a two-touchdown or two-score lead. And the defense continued to respond, even when they kept throwing the ball at the end and the pressure that we got on the quarterback. And just I was very pleased with the defense and obviously getting the W that we need, and hopefully this propels us into another level.
Yeah. All right, I got a challenge for you. You need to go home and sleep through the night, okay?
I'm going to sleep. I think I'm going to be able to sleep.
All right, Coach. We appreciate you. Yeah,
you.
it's been a while. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, that is Coach Warner. I do appreciate him saying, "Hey, do we have to talk about the offense tonight?" But obviously the turnovers are there. They are what they are, and it's not like anybody's not working hard to figure those things out. But I did. Every yard that Gavin knowing that he's hurt, every yard that Gavin got tonight, he earned.
Yeah, I mean, he got banged up clear back in the Andover Central game. So when he's running on a bad tire. And but he's a kid that I've known that family forever. He's a kid that just you're going to get all 110% out of him every single time. And yeah, good to see him have a successful night.
And I saw the heart of him and Gentry both when they fumbled tonight, how frustrated they were with themselves. And I know that they'll put in the time to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, you hate to see the fumble, but you love to see how hard they are on themselves. It's something to know that they hold themselves to that standard of great Buhler running backs. And so when they hold themselves to a standard that high, you don't have to scream at them. You don't have to yell at them. You're like, okay, what's your response going to be? That's how the next outcome is going to be. If something bad happens, you got to make something good happen. And tonight, Gavin Patton, oh my gosh.
It's not like my kids when they make a mess. They're like, oh well, Dad'll clean it up.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing about it too, it was great to see them both have some success running it.
That's you see it more because they're you can see them closer up in basketball when they get the call against them and they look like, who on me? I didn't do anything. And that is next here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
More of the Crusader Locker Room Show is next. Stay tuned as we name tonight's play and player of the game. Stream Crusader football on your phone or tablet.
Hometown Cafe for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and everything in between. Open every day of the week. They serve and assort the peaceful atmosphere, or view the menu and order online for convenient quick pickup.
Dick inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens.
Rod's Tire and Service.
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Got Spock?
Holly here, and I invite you to come down to Holly's Sweet Treats at 205 South. Call us at 888-YUM.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And back here on our
267 yards of total offense compared to Winfield's 109 advantage. We'll get into some of the individual stats now. Jeffrey Neal on one attempt for 14 yards. For Winfield, Landon Dupraw, he had 10 on the ground tonight. Gavin Patton had the game 4 yards. For Winfield, Cale Lindemann had 21 carries for 37 yards. And on the receiving end, we're missing some of our stats.
Buhler wins it tonight with 267 yards to 192. And 4th and Stevens in Hutch. Every journey begins with a stop at Dixon that hangs their hat on
somebody.
Carson Moeller couldn't have done.
Where you put everybody in the box.
Fling it, or Mulvane, a lot.
Yeah,
that's kind of what they're. Rise Up Reno Prevention Network working to strengthen families and promote healthy behaviors. Rise Up Reno. We really gave it to the defense tonight. It's a total effort. I mentioned to Coach, and I'll mention it again. You start going through that list of sophomores that are being asked to play. You start with Cash Carson, Mitchell McDaniel, Chase Gentry. I'm going to leave some of these guys out. Jeremy Gentry, Will Hainan. Every week, those guys are getting better. And by the time they're juniors next year, they're going to be really good football players.
And some of them don't even start. Cash Carson, who you mentioned, was called off the bench for an injured Chase Gentry. So when he was able to come in and he performed, he pressured, which is exactly what he's supposed to do as his position. The old wrestler, I mean, he is perfect fit for that two-tech that they run, and the collective effort as a Black Knight defense really showed today.
Here's the thing about him playing that two-tech, and I don't You know, we talked about the size of that defensive line of Winfield. You look at Cash Carson, soaking wet out there at 5'6", 120. And he's lining up against a guy that is 3 of him. Like, seriously. That's some stuff.
Yeah, he's given up just a little bit of size.
But, obviously, a huge quickness advantage.
Yep. Speed. I'll take speed over size any day of the week.
If I can get by you before you get off the block, see ya.
Yeah. I mean, he did that. Their splits were almost a yard wide. All he had to do was take one step, and the dude's looking around.
Yeah. All right, we'll come back, some final numbers, and wrap it up and get you some final scores right after this on HKFM of the Crusader Sports Network.
Ever not turn on the light because it's just too bright, or wish you could switch lighting at home while you're gone so it appears someone is there? Sunflower Electric Supply has Caseta wireless dimmer kits with Smart Bridge that can take care of all that and more. Locally owned and operated since 1950 and now run by the 4th generation family. Shopping at Sunflower Electric Supply keeps more money circulating locally too. So call today. It's win-win-win with Sunflower Electric Supply in Hutchinson, Great Bend, or Liberal.
Hi, this is Brett Henry, and for the past 75 years at Adams Brown Barron & Ball, we've served Kansas and America. To celebrate our 75th anniversary, we have rebranded to Adams Brown, Strategic Allies, and CPAs. For more information on our exciting changes, check out adamsbrowncpa.com and see why we are above and beyond.
Have an appliance that doesn't work or a yard full of scrap metal and don't know what to do with it? Hi, this is Kathy from Midwest Iron, and you can save the environment and put a little money in your pocket by bringing it to us at 700 South Main. Call us at 620-662-0551. Midwest Iron, recycling for tomorrow's environment.
Advanced Physical Therapy of Hutchinson offers the most comprehensive physical therapy in the area. Our therapists at Advanced Physical Therapy are trained in multiple specialties such as women's health, dry needling, hand therapy, and orthopedics. If getting in to see your physician is difficult, Advanced Physical Therapy may be able to see you without a referral. We pride ourselves in one-on-one goal-oriented therapy to help reduce your pain and get back to doing the things you love. Call Advanced Physical Therapy or visit our website at aptclinics.com and see how we can help you live at your physical best.
As your American Family Insurance agent in Hutchinson, I'm looking out for what matters to you, even when nothing's wrong. This is Sheila Metzger, agent at the Sheila Metzger Agency. Call me at 665-0400 and let's talk about your insurance needs today.
American Family Insurance.
Crusader football on HKFM.
All right, back here to wrap it up, and let's start rolling through some scores in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard. Buhler Dental Care, your hometown dentist, providing friendly smiles with a gentle touch. Christopher, you got some scores there from the network tonight.
Yes, looking around elsewhere across. Yeah, I'm trying to get. Okay, so final. That was on Mix 96.7. Andale 57-8 over Smoky Valley. Inman shuts out Sterling 40-0. Trinity Catholic shuts out Ellenwood 24-0. So that sets up the big Inman Trinity Catholic matchup next week. Both 4-0 going into that. Last score we had was Haven winning their game 50-6. So the Wildcats pick up win number 2 of the year. And Central Christian defeated Fairfield earlier tonight 54-8 as well.
All right, we'll roll through some other scores here. El Dorado beats Augusta tonight 26-21. Hayes High over Garden City 30-26. Abilene beats Chapman 28-6. Elsewhere, McPherson 35, Circle 15. Coffeyville over Independence tonight 42-13. On down the list, Goddard beats Arc City 48-21. Junction City over Bishop Carroll tonight 28-21. Wichita Collegiate blanks Clearwater 22-0. Larned over Nickerson 28-20. Derby comes back from behind to beat Hutch High. And the Salthawks with their first loss of the season 28-21 is the final there. Eudora over Ottawa tonight 49-28. Wamego beats Casey Washington 51-16. Great Bend at 45. Wichita Southeast 0. And the Great Bend Panthers, after a 19-game losing streak, now have a 2-game winning streak. Marion over Remington tonight, 30-22. Ellsworth blanks Hillsborough 28-0. Mays 56, Salina South 7 is the final there. Hoisington beats Southwest Heights 49-0. The Chanute Blue Comets had the longest road trip of the night from Chanute to Ulysses. That's more than a spit's throw there. 40-8 is the final we have there. Last score we had, fourth quarter, was Heston leading Trinity Academy 42-33, and Mays South leading Newton 31-7. Our Crusaders get it done tonight. A field goal and a touchdown. It's all you need. And to pitch their 4th shutout in the series. They beat the Vikings for a 15th time. 10-0. We'll see you Friday night in Mulvane from Lyle Couch Stadium. That'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff. And 6:25 for the Midway Motors drive to the game. Coach will join me Monday night here at 6:30. We'll be live at Taco John's in Hutch with our Crusader Coaches Show. And, of course, a big weekend of college football across our Ad Astra Sports Network, including Sterling College here tomorrow night. They will take on Tabor at Smizer Stadium at 6 o'clock. You can go to adastraradio.com and click on the sports to find that schedule. Good luck in Norman tomorrow.
Thank you.
Storm Norman, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully the Boomer schooner falls over.
We could only hope.
This guy on the other side of me doesn't
I just want to
feel that way.
I just hope I get to meet JR.
Well, we'll see how that goes for you. Good luck in Norman tomorrow. I don't know. Yeah.
They're making a TV show down there with their ESPN Plus deal.
Are they?
You want to talk about some energy and good man making that the coaching staff's doing?
Now you get out of here.
I'm just saying, it's
surrounded by enemies. Good luck to my Jayhawks tomorrow. They boy, what would 4-0 in Lawrence? They might tear the goalpost down tomorrow at 4-0. All right, we'll see. Tough Duke team. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next weekend. Don't forget Frolic, too, next Saturday. For Chris Shank and Carson Muller. Heinze, good job with the camera work tonight, as always. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. We'll see you next Friday night. You've been listening to Crusader Football here on HKFM, the Crusader Sports Network.
Allen Samuels, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Hutch are proud supporters of high school sports. And of course, we are proud to support our community any way we can. Good luck to all of our athletes this season. We hope you have a fun and memorable and most of all, healthy season. Be safe. Allen Samuels, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram